I wonder how I dual screen this, but it shows that it's recording, so I don't know if it's.
Mine's on.
Can I lower this?
Yeah, you would want to spread out
This thing? I guess just at the same height as this. Or is it
It won't. What you're gonna have to do is put it on the floor.
And then make it tall. That's
Yeah.
fine too. Yeah, I started watching when you were recording, and my butt is in.
I know. I
Right
was
up
like,
in the
oh
screen. I was
man,
like,
I'm
where's
like,
my butt?
about the same, right?
The red's on, right? Is it?
Yeah.
But can it see you too?
I don't know. Let's see.
I think so. I think
Hey, you
it
guys. I just wanted. Sorry, we were setting stuff up. I drove Morgan, Eye of the Storm. We're here again to do What's Your Shift with Natalie and Vanessa. Vanessa will be here in a little bit, but we're gonna just go ahead and get started. So stay tuned.
Are you number 3?
I think so. Yeah. Oh no, 1. I'm 1.
Test.
Test.
Is that loud to you?
It's not too loud.
Test. Right, let me hit the plug. Test. I hear buzzing in mine, but whatever.
I do too.
I
There's
don't know.
feedback coming from something.
Let me turn this on. She knows how to do it better than I do. Maybe it's this one. I'll let her mess with it. There is feedback coming. Oh, is that better? Or is that mine? Test.
That sounds better.
Oh, that's mine. Test.
Oh.
That was mine.
Yeah.
Whatever. Test. Yeah, it's mine. I don't know if it's this cord.
Could be.
Oh. Yeah, hear that every time I even come in.
Why
I
don't
try
you
not to move her.
switch with those?
That one?
Just for now.
Where's this coming? Where am I yanking it from?
Yeah.
Well, because they're all intertwined.
I wouldn't pull it from there.
Yeah, I'm just seeing if I could.
You would pull
Move it
from the
in.
number and then.
I was just seeing if I could adjust the cord and it would stop buzzing. Because I don't know if that's going to come up on the recording. Probably.
Yeah, I don't think so. And mine's not even
Test.
working now.
Yours is what?
My mic isn't working.
It's not working. Are you what number are you?
1.
Oh, because I turned now.
Hello.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm number 2. What if I turn these ones down?
She's 4.
Okay. Where am I? Oh, that's better. Does that? No buzzing, right?
Right, but speaking.
Test. I can't hear
It's
myself.
when you're.
Test. Is that better?
I'm still hearing it.
Test. Kind of.
It's still there's feedback coming on it.
Weird. Annoying.
So don't pull from there though. You'd want to switch with that one, which is number 3. So 3 and you're 2. So you just if you can bring those over to where you're at, I can switch the things back here. But we got to remember to put them back.
What do you mean?
I can switch the if you want to pull
Oh,
those
you
over
mean-
towards you because you can't
Oh, instead of
undo
the.
it. Yeah.
Oh,
The
you're
cord
just
should
gonna
work.
unplug it.
Yeah. Or no, actually you don't have to. You could
I
just
think. But then
turn
that's
those
my
up.
number 3. We'd have to.
But I think you would be able to.
I wonder.
Oh no, here's the headphones. Okay, so if I switch just 2 and 3,
Yeah.
then you can use those over there. I mean, you can still use them. I don't think it matters.
Test.
No, you would go over there.
Yeah.
Is it? Will the cord?
We're basically just switching.
You're just they still work.
Okay.
You don't
Unplug.
need. I don't need to switch those. Just put them on,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I got it. Test.
Right?
Do you still hear a feed though?
Oh, yeah, I do.
I don't know if it's it has to be these cords.
Sorry, you guys.
Alright, we'll just use the number
It's
2,
ready.
yeah, and we'll see. Maybe when she gets in here, it won't be. I'm gonna have to cord it. I wanted to use their printer because I here, start recording. Test. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Test. Okay. Okay, what am I doing? Test. Can you hear me? How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Well, this is what's your shift. It's twice. You had to come back twice. It was so good. So good. So a lot's happened since
A couple
2
days ago.
ago.
I know.
mosquitoes. It's getting wild.
I know. I mean, they just.
What did it say? 64 million.
Yeah, and Google. Isn't that great?
Yeah, Google.
That's so exciting. You know, I mean, they're here to help us. I mean, because, you know, they're going to kill other mosquitoes and, you know, vaccinate people
Did you
if
look
they
up
want.
the bacteria, research the bacteria?
I didn't.
Me neither, but we should.
Yeah, we should.
I was-
I just heard about it this morning and I haven't
Oh,
had
really?
a chance to look into it. But I know, I mean, they've been already doing this
Right,
kind of
the
stuff.
mosquitoes,
You know what I
right.
mean? It's
Yeah.
been happening for a long time. It's just, I think this could be maybe more. I'm not positive, but
Well, it's ironic and interesting. Like I was having that conversation with my girlfriend, and she's really like not understanding what I'm saying. As in, she was like, "I think you're just going a little bit. You know, you're a little bit too far out there. Or
Right.
maybe you're thinking like."
you're a conspiracy theorist.
And I said, "Johanna, sorry, Joe. What are you talking about? I'm watching this stuff every day. It's not me creating this information that I'm like, oh, I bet you this is happening. I'm not that. I'm not that person. You know, like I'm reading and then doing the research,
Right,
which I'm asking you to do.
right.
You don't have to believe me. I'm just telling you, this is what's coming." And she was like, "Okay." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, seriously, it's not like," because I started to get frustrated. And she was all like, you know, because she was seriously like, "Okay, I think you're, you know," and I'm like, what do you read anything? I was trying to get mad. And she was like, "Well, I'm just living my life." And I'm like, "Yeah, and that's what we all want to do."
Right.
And she was like,
Exactly.
"You're telling me you don't scan your face on your phone?" I said, "Fuck, no. And she was like, "Well, what about this?" And I'm like, "Nope, I don't do that." And she was like, "Well, it's already gonna happen." And I said, "Yes, things are happening, but you're saying exactly what the problem is. Things are going to happen. How they happen, we do have control over."
For sure. Well, and how we handle it.
Right.
You
And
know.
I said, she was like, "Well, it just makes it easier." And I'm all, that is the most common shit I've heard. And it really like, I'm like, please.
That's what they sell you.
Yeah.
Because it is. It at
is,
first,
yeah.
right? They got
Right.
to trap you in that easiness before they really, you know, close that prison cell where you can't get out of it because you've capitulated to the point where now it's everywhere. And now that you see that it's been weaponized, you can't pull away from it.
Well, and she's not, I have to step away, like we said, I have to step away sometimes and stop reading. But she's not reading anything at all. Because she's just living her life. You know, she's a 4-year-old. She's a dental hygienist, and she's just living her life in, you know, Reno area, piece of property. Yeah, but you gotta read something. You know, like it. I said that's scary to me, Johanna. It really is. And like I said, don't believe what I'm saying. I'm telling you what I know, and I would appreciate if you actually went and did the research, and
Right.
then you decide.
Right.
But I'm not going to just feed you bullshit. I'm not here to do that.
That's what they do.
Right. And I said, there's so much. I couldn't believe it. She's not a stupid person, but she has no idea, like, where we're going. She doesn't think that it's that corrupted in a sense.
Right. Well, she hasn't probably, realized that. Well, because people want to take things and compartmentalize them, right?
Yes.
And do things in little silos, or I don't even know that's the word I'm looking for, but it's like it's just this or it's just that, and it's like no, it's everything.
Mm-hmm.
And she hasn't gotten to the point where she's accepted that. So it's like, this sounds so outrageous, right? Because it's like she's not willing to accept that it encompasses everything. And so there's a lot of people, they'll see certain things, you know what I mean? But until they can go, it's everything, then you're just going to go, that sounds ridiculous. You know what I mean? You're not going to open up your mind to it, but you're still going to fall into their trap of believing that it's just, for, our safety.
And I said, I don't want to have to believe this either. I don't. It's so radical.
Yeah.
And I understand it is hard for my brain to wrap my mind around it, but I understand that it's fucking real, like part of our collective reality. And I said, and this is the problem with where we're at right now. It is hard to wrap our minds around. And we shouldn't be having to wrap our mind around baby drinking adrenochrome. As I said, I didn't make up that word. I've never heard that fucking word before.
It's in the movies.
I'd never heard that word.
Yeah.
And I said, but it is factual. All you have to do is look. And so when we scan our faces at the airport, we are agreeing to that being okay.
Yeah.
By our leaders.
Absolutely, you're consenting.
Yeah. And she's like, well, I don't agree with any of that shit. And I said, of course you don't. You're a regular person. But you don't understand. We have these people in a position that control a certain amount of our reality. And it's a collective. And so when we are obeying rules that are not rules at all, then we are saying, yes, you have that power to keep doing what you're doing. It's a really slippery, tricky position to be in.
It for sure is.
Because you taking the pill, like you said, the red or blue pill, and you're comfortable, but I'm uncomfortable in many sorts of fashions. She was like, I don't know how you can hold a job and do, and pay. I said, I don't. This is my job, and I don't get paid. But that's how important it is to me.
Of course, yeah.
And she respects that. And it's just a weird, I was just pondering my thoughts, like, where, like we were saying, like, I've been called to do this job, and there are so many people not understanding. You take a hit.
Well, yeah, for sure.
You take a hit from many different angles.
For sure. Well, I mean, because it's so enormous, like because it's everything. What I find is showing people on a smaller scale what's happening that they can physically see allows them to open up their mind to it being that it's everywhere, meaning the corruption locally, right? Because it's like, you could look at it on a broad scale and say it's worldwide, and there's this child trafficking worldwide, right? And there's this satanic ritual and all of this stuff, but it's like we've already crossed over that line, and they aren't willing to yet. And so I feel like there's some people that need to see that, like, locally through CPS, or things like, look at the homelessness, look at the infrastructure that is around you, see how many times they continue to come after you for more money, right? So you have to show them in a place where they can kind of see it and feel it, so then you can broaden that and go further. And then they'll say, okay, well, if they're corrupt, then it is possible that they are all at the higher echelons. That is more seemingly unbelievable, because it's like, if you can look at that in your own community and go, you're right, well, our roads, they're not being fixed. Like, our storm infrastructure is, I mean, they need $5 billion. Like, they're doing all this stuff with the trash fee, and putting it on my property tax. So like, what if I can't pay that one day because I'm struggling right now, and I'm thinking, are they going to take my house? Like, oh my gosh, right? You start to feel that, and then it's like, then you can broaden that horizon by showing them at the higher levels. But I feel like some people, because it is so just crazy, you're like, if you tell them about adrenochrome, they're like, okay, whatever, that sounds fictitious. And some of them may have seen it in like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas type of stuff, right?
Talking about that
so
movie.
It's like, I mean, and so to them, it's like, that's just a movie. Like, that's something that they made up, and it's like, no, they show us these things through the movie, so you can even start to open up their eyes to different things as you go along, because you can go like, well, and if they say I saw it, you know, you're like, well, but do you realize that that's actually also happening in real life?
Right.
So could you see that if they wanted you to think that whatever's happening in real life is fake, and so you don't really react to it the way you should, you're just kind of conditioned to be like, that's normal, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Then they're not going to do anything, right? But you can start to open up their eyes to all of those different facets.
Well, and I asked her, I said, okay, so she said, I don't know what she said, and I said, I'm curious. I wonder if you have, do you know if you guys have automatic
ALPR?
Yes.
Automatic license plate readers.
Yes. Yeah. And she said, I don't know what that is. And I said, what's the...
She's seen them, I guarantee it.
Right, so I said, what's the name of your app? Like, oh, that's interesting. And I said, it gets way more interesting. So I started looking up, and she was like, oh, but you know, we had already. But I said, you need to look into that, because you know, she's had some situations, and you don't know when you're going to be a target. And that's what I said. I said, Johanna, for me too, I wasn't civically involved until it directly started affecting my life, and I realized this is fucked up. Because I never voted anyways. I've never voted for president. I've always thought it was a bunch of bullshit, and I always, even in high school, said, oh, they're setting us up for Big Brother. Jokingly, in a kind of a way, but look, it's real where we're at right now. Like, not a joke. And I graduated in 1996. You're not, we didn't have, my friend was the first one to have a cell phone.
Right, yeah.
And it was huge. And I was like, what is that? She's all, it's a cell phone.
I know.
And I'm all,
it's like this big.
It was.
Hello?
It was. She's all, come down and check out my cell phone. And I'm like, what is that for? And she's also, when, you know, because we had graduated high school, she was the first one that had a computer too that I know. I'm like, dang. Mom, what are you supposed to do with that?
AOL though, it was like, get it.
Oh, it was like, the worst. Dial up. Yeah, I'd go to the library when I was in college, and I'd be like 10 minutes. And you'd have to wait your turn to get onto the computer to use the internet, you know, and then you had a 2-hour limit. Yes, I do remember that. But yeah, the cell, and I'm just like, until it affects you personally, I'm telling you, Johanna, then you're gonna see. But it's going to. You just haven't seen it yet, because the ripples are starting to come down the line.
Right.
You just haven't seen it.
Well,
yet.
but she has. That's the thing. Is like,
just
not. I mean, she's just not seeing it.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, it's as though she's but it's like. And that's where a lot of people are at, you know, it's cognitive dissonance. I don't see what I'm seeing, because I don't want to also accept that reality.
That's exactly what she said. And I said, Johanna, I don't even like talking about these things. It's disgusting. It's fucking disgusting, and it's fucked up. And go look it up. They are doing it. She was like, well, I don't know if I want to look at that. I said, I don't either. I don't want to look at it. But I'm telling you, you can't sit here and say that, well, I'm not going to look at it, so it's not happening. So for me, I take it personally personal.
Everyone should.
Right. And she was like, you know, you're just more passionate about it. And I said, dude, we're talking about babies that they're fucking torturing and drinking their blood and doing who knows what the fuck. It may not be your baby, but it was somebody's baby, and it was created, and they're fucking with it. I have 4 babies.
Yeah, but so it's like, then you could go into, do you think that they would care about your baby if they're willing to do that to babies? Like, do you trust these people that are willing to do this, willing to know about it and unwilling to stop it? You trust them with your children? You trust that when you send them to that school that they're going to have your child's best interest at heart and yours? Or why are they saying all of a sudden it's like, you know, parent danger? It used to be stranger danger. Now it's like parent danger. Don't tell your parents, oh my gosh, you want to protect your child? How dare you? We're going to remove that child because this is detrimental. Do you want your child to commit suicide? And it's like, you do.
Yeah.
What you're doing to them will lead to that.
It's
like,
really,
it is so twisted, but that's where you have to go. Like, would you trust them with that? Like, if they're willing to allow this stuff to go on and they're okay with it.
That's what I said. I said, it is, she was like, well, we don't have control. I said, yes, we do. And she was like, well, I'm just a speck. And I'm like, but there's 8 billion of us specks. And how many of them?
Why do you think you're powerless? Because you're choosing to sit there and then you're seeing what's going on. It's like you haven't even tried to shift it. You haven't tried to shift your reality. And if you did, you would be able to just like that. No, it isn't. You know it isn't.
Well,
You know what I mean? People put on those, you know, rose cut. Oh, I'm fine. What do you mean?
And
it's not affecting me.
And it's like, well, I gotta pay rent. And I said,
yeah, how much is your rent?
So, well, she has a house.
But do you know what I mean? Ask that. Like, how much is your property? Like, are you happy with the gas that you have to pay? You know what I mean? Are they taking care of the infrastructure? Like, how do you feel like your kids are being handled at school? Do you feel like they're learning? Why are kids falling behind? Why are we spending so much money for this?
And making them learn a certain way and then telling us that's how it is.
Sexual things.
Ugh.
What are your pronouns? What? I'm sorry.
Say that. I think someone last time I was like, Mom, because I didn't want to say I don't answer that question. I just said, Mom. That's my
child of God. Okay,
that's my pronoun. That's what the other people call these little things heathens call me here sometimes. I don't know, like.
But it's just ridiculousness. You know what I mean? It's like, why is that something you got to teach them? And that how many genders there are, and like if they want to. What are we doing having them reading these sexual books you can't even go to a school board and read? That is inappropriate. Is it? Because you have that in the school.
In the library.
For the kids to read. So.
Well, and even on filling out the paperwork for EBT, it was asking the sexual orientation of my child. And I was so confused. I was like, it shows the date. So it says age, like I don't put in age 12. It automatically shows their age once you put the date in. And then it says sexual orientation. And I was like,
that is inappropriate.
They can't take that.
Orientate, like what?
I'm not joking. Like, I should go on there right now and show you.
Yeah.
When you go on to CalBen or CalWorks or Benefit Cal, whatever. It's bizarre. It's bizarre.
Well, they'll even ask you that if you're like an EMT as before. What's your gender? And I was like, are you serious? It was like, he's like, we have to ask this now. I'm sorry. But it's like, this is how ridiculous it's gotten, you know, and it's like, just those, I mean, there's so many things like sectionally, you know, whatever, where you're like, I mean, this should just be enough. It shouldn't that we need all of this stuff on the table to show that there's craziness happening. It's like, pick one thing and tell me that it's working. That's what we should start asking. Tell me what's working. Because that's a shorter list, right? Because I could tell you all day long nothing's working.
Correct.
But it's like, if you ask those people that are in that space, it's like, then they start to think differently. That's why I'm saying it's like, we can't, it's hard because you want to ambush them with all this stuff because it's like, I got to get it all out. But it's like, there's so many people.
Can I show you what I couldn't stop. And I said, they can hate me right now. I feel bad. But I couldn't.
I don't mean that you were ambushed, but you know what I mean.
No, I'm talking about the like when I was on the Health and Human Services. I'm just like,
Zoom,
this is stupid anymore. Like I was saying last, there's this urgency within me, and I don't know if it's multiple of things. Like I said, I have an EHB, and that's cut. So, you know, I'm talking about that. Am I asking for anyone to save me? Fuck no. I even had to tell my husband, I'm not chasing a voucher. I'm making it aware of what our systems are doing to people. And breaking up families when I was never in a situation like this, and now they put me in a position where my family's going to be, is just breaking. What? And that's what I said.
That's what
so we have to try new programs to figure out what's working. We've never let anything be completed to know if it works or not.
But that's what they do.
Every single time. I even said that. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense.
They create another one because this one's not working.
Pilot.
And then they never... So it's just this hamster wheel of going like, no, this is going to help that.
That's what I said.
This is actually going to be the one thing. We know it.
I said, I don't even have a disability. We were 2 parents that have 4 children. COVID happened, and now I'm stuck in this loop. And the one administration starts one program, and then the next one, like we were saying the other day, they cut that program. So what the fuck, And purposely doing it, like poking, well, I'm taking that program away. But here I am caught in the crossfire. I would have rather not have the damn EHV then.
Right.
And just leave me alone, quit giving me tickets, and I would have figured it out.
Right.
But
that's not the way it's set up.
Right. It's ridiculous. And that's
they need to make you a criminal too, you know what I mean?
Right. And the Carfax.
Yeah.
So my brother got an email because I posted it and I sent it to him. I'm all Carfax policing now. And he's like, wait, explain that to me. And he said, I got an email from Carfax right after, and it's telling me how much my car's worth and when the last time I got an oil change and how many miles I had. And he was like, but I didn't get my car. I didn't get my car through there, and I'm so. It doesn't matter. Exactly, but he was actually having to be thinking about it.
Right. See, but you can start to show him small things.
Right. He believes me. And he's all, what the fuck? And I was like, dude. I said, thank you for saying that because I thought he was joking with me.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, I just got an email. And I'm like, no, are you serious? And he said, yes, I just got an email from him. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Because it's not, they're doing it across the nation, right? So we're just at the Chiefs and Sheriffs Management Committee meeting, which is under SANDAG. And
what's it called? ARJIS?
ARJIS is their
ARJIS. I was like, ARJIS?
Yeah.
Was that funny?
Automated Regional Justice Information System or whatever. But they, and that's under SANDAG, and they have these meetings. They're never open to the public by way of visually participating if you're remote. So you have to show up in person, and they never videotape or anything, which is super egregious. And then they don't put attachments, so you don't really know what they're talking about until you get there. And they shouldn't even have run that meeting yesterday. And every single meeting that they have run illegally because they haven't posted prior to the meeting outside. So it's like you can post online, but you have to post something on the outside so that the people know. And so I go and I tell them, and this lady's like, well, I don't know, I'm going to talk to legal. And so she does, and she's like, well, he said that, she can say that, but go ahead and run the meeting anyway. And then, she wants to file a complaint or whatever. And I'm like, but you realize that everything that you're going to be doing is null and void. And again,
so if you're voting on something, I can take it to the
like
pushing the issue.
It means that you have to revisit the whole meeting.
Right.
But if they have never ever posted, that means every single meeting that they have ever held has been illegal, and it should be null and void. Meaning any contract they've done with ARJIS, all of those things.
Have you thought about going down how long they have or have not had, just to be like, all right, you want to be a fucking bitch?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yes.
Because what else am I doing?
Well, it's ridiculous because I'm like, this is a law enforcement board and committee, and you guys are literally breaking the law right now. And I was like, that does not look good. Because you guys want us to abide by the law.
Correct.
You hold us to this higher standard, but then you guys can go. And so they're like, well, we'll see. And we'll like this kind of thing. I'm thinking, well, okay, so then the next time you're arresting somebody and you're telling them they're breaking the law, and they say, well, we'll see about that, and they walk away.
Right,
you're not going to just go along with that. You're going to make sure you detain them, charge them with resisting arrest. You could beat the crap out of them, and it's like, so you're not setting a good example. And it's like they should have halted that meeting, and they went with it anyway. And that's what is so ridiculous is that it's blatant in your face, and they continue on. And this is happening across San Diego. That's why I want to go to all these boards and catch them in the act and be like, all of you have done illegal business. And these are the basics of a meeting. This isn't that hard. Well, and it's like, and especially with what they're talking about,
Correct.
Because I want to go back to the Carfax, but I
Yes.
just wanted to bring people into like what
Well,
we're
and that's what
dealing with.
Yes, and that's what I said. I said I didn't even, if it wasn't for you, I would have had no idea this,
Meeting
because there's
existed.
so
Yeah.
many meetings,
Mhm.
and this is what they do too. They got
Yes.
you, and that's what I told my girlfriend. I said, I'm running in circles, and I don't have a job. But this is my job.
Yep.
Because that's how passionate I
That's
am
right.
about it. And I said, you know, I tell my kids, money's not coming now, but it will come. You know, I have faith in that. And I said, it is a lot of work, and it is a job, and this is what they do, so that they're having all of these things back to back or at the same time.
Yeah.
You're running around, but you have the right to vote.
Right.
How do I even know if you guys are having them running us in circles?
Yeah,
on
but
these-
they think, well, we represent you, and that's why we're
right.
incestuously on all these boards, so that we make sure that we represent you on all of them. And so you don't need to be there because I'm there in your behalf.
Right.
And I'm making a decision on your behalf, what I feel like is best for you,
Correct.
which you have put me in this position to do, which is like, that's all bullshit anyway.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? But
I
it's
don't
like,
know.
and how can you, I don't even consent to anything you're doing.
Right.
But most people don't know who they are. So it's like, they can get away with that.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And it's like, that's what's so crazy is that they bring in, and they hide stuff. So it's like I'm saying with
Right.
this, you don't know this Carfax information until you get to that meeting. Like they didn't
Right,
have
that's
that
what you said.
attachment
You said
there.
it wasn't posted
Right.
online.
So
either,
we wouldn't
could
know
be
this.
prepared. Right.
If we didn't go.
Right.
That it wouldn't be posted later. We
And now,
may
isn't that
find
illegal?
out. Well, what would
I mean-
happen is it would go before the board of directors
Mhm.
and or the executive committee. I think it's the board of directors, and then they would present it again. That's when you would see it.
After
But you
they
wouldn't-
already know what they're gonna.
Yeah,
say
then they're
you're
going to
doing
vote it
voting,
through.
Yeah,
Of course.
and said they had the opportunity
Yeah.
for people to
Yeah.
hear and say what they need
Yeah.
to say.
So, but let's get into this Carfax because what they were saying is that.
Did you research? I didn't get a chance to go.
Not necessarily, but I'm
deep
talking about what they were saying, right?
Yeah,
It's like that's all we
yeah.
need to really share is that, they have, it's like using vehicle history to solve crimes is what they claim. And so they is giving
Wait, me pick.
the Argus information from the cars. Information on like crimes and different things so that they
Right.
can enmesh the data, but they're willingly, like they're giving it to Carfax, and what Carfax is going to do is they're going to have some because they have to contract
Right.
with them.
They told my brother when he got an oil change last.
Yes.
And he was like, "What the hell?" And I was like, "Oh my God!" They said that
Yeah.
today
Yes.
on there that they'll be able to say like, "Oh, this person had oil change, and this car was in this so and so."
Right. Whatever place.
Yeah, and all of a sudden you're going to be arrested
Yeah.
because you have that car and
Yeah.
there's no data
They can
in
find
between.
you or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like connecting the dots. That's what
Right,
they're acting
but
like.
you're not the dot that should be in that.
No. And
You
who?
know?
Did we ever consent to them doing that? No.
No.
And like what they're also doing is with the miles, right? Because they want to get rid of all these old cars. And I was talking
Right.
about this morning on a podcast I do. But anyway, on Thursdays, you'll have to like join me sometime on that. It's on Patriot Soapbox. It's like with an old friend of mine, my mentor who passed away.
Uh-huh.
It used
I
to
think where
be
you guys
his
are
show.
sitting like at a.
No, we're not sitting.
Oh.
It's usually just from like Zoom.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, so because there's these junkyards that are being burnt, right? And so it's like all of the parts from old cars
Yeah.
are there, right? And
Like a pick and
when
pull,
you
used
want to
to-
get rid of old cars,
Uh-huh.
you got to get rid of the parts. So you have them burning down all of these junkyards so that you're not going to be able to go find these parts, right?
Right. So we
Then
can't
they-
have the older
correct.
car that I want that I can fix
Exactly.
myself.
And then they also have companies that are buying old companies that would make these parts and putting them out of business so they can bring in their new technology, right? So it's so disgusting, but with this mileage that they're reporting to the police or
Mhm.
whatever, they're going to use that to criminalize us or try and get your car out of the out of commission. Because
Well, and they
people
all-
have to see the bigger picture with the things that they're doing with these tactics.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because why would
Well,
you
I
care
didn't
about
know
their
that
miles?
and that's the thing. I will never buy a new car.
I mean, you say that now, but I'm telling you, if they get rid of all of them, what
Well,
are you
right,
going to
that's
do,
what
right?
I'm saying. Now that I know that, I'm gonna have to start.
Well, that's
fucking car parts.
Well, or they want us to walk and bike, and so it's like, all right, fine, but
Right.
like, give us some infrastructure then. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You're going to take the car, but that's where it's going. Where they're going to have the kill switch in the car. They're going to make sure that you're
Well,
sober. They're going to make sure that you're sitting up
Okay.
straight. Like if you look
Oh, you're
tired,
right.
they're going to say that
Right.
you're drunk. You know
Right.
what I mean? And be like, take you to the police station,
Well,
probably.
And I'm always accidentally swerving into somebody's lane.
It'll be something like, It'll be like, oh my gosh,
yeah.
you need to pull over because you've obviously
they
had too
killed
much
the-
to drink. You're like, I've been drinking water. It's like,
I'm trying to reach back and
I
not
need to, yeah.
grab my kid.
I mean, who knows? But it's like, why are you having a seizure is what it's going to think. You know, it's
Yeah.
because the AI is so flawed that it's going to be in that
I'm
realm.
So stupid.
But they're so dumb because this Carfax is going to contract with the government. So the government's going to then pay them for this contract, willingly give them our information, and then Carfax will go ahead and give us information to, or them,
Uh-huh.
right? But it's like, this is all to put us into a digital prison. And people are so blind. That's why it's like, again, take small things like this and then branch out into a bigger picture. It's
Right.
like, start to think about, you know, these things and what you're seeing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's like her mind, for her, it's like, oh, well, we're already there. And I'm like, kind of, but not really, dude.
Not as where it's
no,
going to go.
that's what
Right.
I'm saying. Like, we're kind of,
We're on our
but-
way there.
but not, you're not going to like it.
Mm-mm.
You think that this is, we're there? No. It could get a whole lot worse.
It will.
Right.
It definitely will.
And I said, and you have a child. So this is the world you're going to leave them?
Right.
And this is what I said. This is really like, I said, Johanna, I understand what you're saying. That's how you think, and that's fine. But for me, when my kids, when they get older and we're looking back at history and they really, truly, fully understand that our administration is doing these godforsaken things, and they're going to say, did you know that, Mom? And I'm going to have to say, yes, I did.
Right.
And when they ask me, well, what, I'm going to be able to show them what I did.
Right.
Because that is not okay.
Right.
So when they ask you and you're just going to say, well,
It's just
that's
the
just
way
what
it
it
is.
was.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Right.
It's just the way it was.
Right.
We fucking molest and what the fuck? And I had to say that to her because I want to be able to say when my kids say, well, they're watching me do what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really hard. It's hard to have to, because they're going without
Right.
for this moment, because I put my efforts into studying and researching and spreading information. But when they get older, they'll understand, because I don't know what's worse than that. Fucking, I mean, I'm laughing because it's so absurd.
Of course, we'll go
To
in.
even say it, and she was like, well, you know, and I'm like, I'm laughing because it's so, you don't know, I don't know what else to do. That's what I do, like, if I'm super upset or super pissed, you know, like, I'll just start laughing. It's like one of those, the doctor said it's like a reaction,
Right.
you know. I don't cry, just start laughing because I don't know what else to do, because really I want to fucking go hurt somebody.
Yeah. I mean, it's.
That's how bothersome it is, so I just have to laugh it off. But I'm just like, Joanna, yeah, it's mind-blowing. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. But this is what we're doing. We're saying, well, this is just how it is.
Yeah. This is okay.
It doesn't make sense
This
to
is
me.
easier.
It is. It is.
No, but that's what they say.
Right,
Yeah.
right. It is. And that's what I said. I said, yes, I would like to live that life. I cannot. You know?
Yeah, you can't go.
And maybe that's why I said, go read about everything that I've talked about yourself and then tell me what you think. But even in relation to people that are my family, you know, it's like, well, what, you know, they don't even know what to say because they know that what I'm saying is true too.
Right.
And I can't participate that way. So right now I sacrifice because at least I can say, like, I did what I could do to not be an active, at least
participant in it.
Right. As much as I didn't have to.
Right.
You know? And that's the thing too. When it comes to, they said, look, they're tightening everything. Like you said, someone's gonna get in trouble and go to get a jail. I'm gonna get a case for stealing watermelon.
Yeah, she did. A felon.
Oh, that was true?
That is true. A woman
was
hungry.
I thought you were you were being sarcastic.
She did 2 watermelons.
And they arrested her.
They were like rotting watermelons, and they were in a donation bin.
Where is this?
And
is
they
this
claimed
here?
she stole them.
Shut the fuck up.
And now she's in Las Colinas with felonies because she stole watermelons because she was hungry. So that's why I'm like, you guys put people in these positions and then you criminalize them for trying to just survive. So it's like, how is it that we can have all of these other crimes that take place that we've been talking about, and then, you know, even you getting those tickets, and it's like this all gets transmitted through ARGIS and sent to all of the law enforcement across the nation, and
I didn't know
you know all this stuff, and it's like, you know, you're just getting parking tickets because you're moving around and trying to survive on the street, and you can't do that. Now you're a criminal, and so every time someone, you know, runs, we're going to be able to see what you've done. Yeah. And it's like, I mean, seriously, we have children that are being abused. I mean, they're like, I'm just kind of confused that we can go, this is a crime. She stole watermelons because she's hungry. They're rotting. They're in a donation bin.
Is this recently?
Yeah, I mean, within the last, like, I'm not sure exactly when she took them, but she's currently in Las Colinas waiting to be sentenced. And what they're doing with these women in there, though, is they're trying to either do competency or psych evals, right? So it's like they can put you through one of their diversion programs. This is Summer Stephan, and it's like she's filling these jails with people who shouldn't be in there.
Right.
And then Kelly Martinez has to deal with them. And it's like, you guys are, it is so bad, because it's like those, I'm just confused. Like, when are the criminals actually going to be locked up? Because these are victims that you've created, and then you criminalize them. And so you lock, and then you act like you're taking care of crime, and it's like, you're the criminal, what?
Right.
That's where it's like, people have to see that. Like, I mean, does that make sense? No.
Right.
And you can't be like, well, I mean, she shouldn't have done it. It's like, so you think she should be a felon and go to prison or some psych ward?
Or she should go, that's how hungry enough she was. And thirsty, clearly, because, you know, when you're hot and there's that, I love water.
You're like, it's rotting. Who's gonna care?
And it's a killer.
I'm starving.
Right. And I'm thirsty, and I want some. You know, that's your body craving something, food, nutrition, and that's what I'm saying too. Like, so not only do I have to wait to get a certain deodorant or a certain feminine product, depending on what store you go to, but yet we have Congress that are spending millions and millions of dollars on who knows what.
Well, they're even putting tampons and pads in men's restrooms. It's great. They're at the county. At the county, they're there. At anything. Yeah,
really?
Yes, they're all over. Any county or city.
Well, I know that they're in the women's bathroom.
Yeah, no, but they're in the men's.
Huh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go take a gander.
Yes.
Or I'll probably get kicked out if I go in there.
Yeah, men I know that have come to me, they'll come out and be like, what the fuck is this? And I'm like, telling me, I don't know, you can stick it somewhere if you want. I mean, they use ketchup popsicles to simulate a period. And it's like, if you really wanted to be a woman, you would know that no woman wants her period. So like, you wouldn't simulate it. Like when women go through menopause, they're not like, listen, I am so wishing I was still young. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to freeze this ketchup. And then I'm going to stick it up my, you know, private, and wait for it to melt, and then it's going to be like I'm young again. I mean, that sounds
you
really
know what?
logical.
And we could talk about so many things, but that goes back to like the whole woman thing too. That's no joke either.
No, but as long as they can erase us.
Women have it really tough. Like, I could strangle people on those. Like, that's how I feel.
Yeah, but these men will sit there and be like, I need maternity leave because I'm unable to, and so you need to give me that so I can simulate this pregnancy. And it's like, so can I do that because I can't have kids? Can I go and be like, I identify as being pregnant, and so I would like to have paid maternity leave. I would also like to go into the hospital and have a simulated birth.
Well, they have those. They have
do
those where
what?
you can. To feel the
the cramping of it. Yes. They also have bellies and stuff.
Yeah.
But these men will be doing that, sitting there like, I deserve to be able to experience this. And it's like, you're never going to be a woman. Just be who you are, but
Right.
don't claim that you're a
Right.
woman.
Right.
Have your own thing and be like,
if men, that's why we are able to have these babies, because they would not be able to handle
oh my gosh.
that kind of.
Yeah, tell those men to wear that cramping machine, and I
watched
guarantee
it
you
on
they will be like
Instagram where they try to do
the
the
trans
dishes.
men though.
No,
I'm talking about
it's
trans men that are sitting there wearing that belly, going, "I'm simulating." Okay, let's
No.
do that. Let's simulate a birth real
Yeah.
quick,
brothers, where they
Right,
were
I
trying to
saw-
do
right.
the dish. I was cracking up.
because they're like, "Oh my gosh!"
Yeah,
Like,
it was like on number 1.
I think they're just cramps too. Those are just for cramping. You know what I mean? Like on a period.
my first one
and they're
brought
not-
me to my knees. My first contraction, and I was like, oh, because it's like, oh, I could, and then that one, I was just like, literally, I fell to my knees because I wasn't expecting that. That's no joke. So, did you look up the maternity leave with the
Oh dang it!
you know what the quorum or
No,
the
but
Browns
you
Act?
that stuff you put over here.
I gave it to you yesterday.
Yeah.
The paper. I just looked up the just got my phone. Well, I was having them read. I was looking up Carfax and seeing how that worked because I was kind of confused. And that's the thing. The information that we have to research. It's for me. I'm not literate at all of it. It's confusing.
I still am not positive that this
It's confusing. It's
this stuff.
confusing.
Yeah.
Any research when it comes to these types of rules and laws and ordinances and what's an ordinance and what's not an ordinance and who gets to and who makes the fucking rules. So they were saying that even if they found negligence within their database of somebody else, right? That they didn't have the authority.
Yeah,
They
like
have
the
to make
federal
a
government.
Right.
Like they couldn't
The
go out
federal
and hold them
agencies,
accountable.
If they found them somehow using
breaching their
right.
system and
Right.
doing whatever.
Right.
They're
if
like,
they
you can
somehow
go to
found
the
out
OIG
their IT.
and stuff, and the OIG doesn't do jack shit. There are
Well,
these
And
places
who's
like
going to follow up with this? Because
yeah, but they're not going to do anything.
Right.
They'll sit there and go, we're going to investigate it, and then we'll recommend policy changes, and it's like, I'm
How-
sorry, they're
right.
violating the law. What do you do? Nothing.
Right.
Just don't break the law. We don't need to change a policy to enforce that. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
But they think that that's the way you fix that.
Right. And then I can't have a watermelon.
Right.
Where do we draw the line on who is holding who accountable? And that's what I said. Like I'm expected to be held accountable, but when are you held accountable? And what the fuck?
Well, they don't. It's just like when they don't have a quorum, right? It's like blatant in your face, just like these law enforcement officers running a meeting illegal. Like, we're going to continue. We'll look into it, but we're going to continue.
Right.
Like at the city, I mean, they were just like in my face, like, what are you going to do about it? And then all of a sudden it's on the news the last time I caught them, and I was like, I swear that's why they changed course, is because all of a sudden it's more broad than just me, right?
Right.
And like, and so they all of a sudden are doing quorum checks. We got to make sure that we have a quorum. And it's like, you do? Weird, because you blatantly in my face were like, fuck you.
Right.
And you continued your meetings.
Right.
And were kicking me out, threatening arrest.
Right.
And yet now you have to check for quorum. I mean,
Right.
good for you for course correcting, but I was like, I feel like I'm owed an apology. And then even at the
Right.
board,
Right.
like, the clerk is still trying to explain away. No, well, thank you for your concerns. And it's
Right.
like,
And that-
fuck off,
right.
dude.
That
I'm
is-
talking about breaking the law.
Right. And it's, to me, that's one of the things that will really, like, don't fucking condescend me. And I always have to say, I understand what you're saying when I have to go back and forth with someone like on the phone or
Mm-hmm.
I understand what you're saying. That doesn't change the facts. Like, you're not going to say it so many different ways to where you're all of a sudden,
Right.
oh, my bad for me. You
I
know, like, stop doing.
Let's just be real,
stop
though.
Repeating yourself. It's pissing me off.
But also, let's be real here.
Okay.
It's like Stephen Whitburn. Okay, when I not met him, but when I was doing I think it was my first point in time count for the homeless. Might have been. It might have been my second one. Anyway, he was there, and so I had seen him. But this is when I had come across 50 military-age men behind a church, or in a church behind a fence, and I'm like, and it was like at 4:30 in the morning, and I'm like, what is this? Because they were doing drop-offs, right? And I hadn't seen it. I heard about it, but I hadn't experienced it, and it was like the smell was so pungent. Ooh. Because they were all military-age men from who knows where.
Right.
And I'm like, what is, and they're lined up.
Right.
And it's like, what are they doing?
Right.
So then I'm like asking the guy, and I'm like, do you have a manager or something? And he's like, here, give me your email and I'll have him contact you. And I'm just like, I know this game. Like, what's happening? Why don't you want to tell me what's going on? That's weird.
Yeah.
I figure you would be like, no, they just came across the border and we're getting them off to where they need to go. Right. Nobody would ever do that. They would always be like, why do you need to know? Like, I went to the airport and this lady was like, it's a need to know basis and you don't need to know. And I'm like, what? Yes, we're spending money. So everyone at every point was very like gatekeeper with this information. Right. I thought, well, if you're doing something benign and benevolent, like, why wouldn't you want to tell me what you're doing?
Did you start videotaping at that point?
Oh yeah,
you did.
And so then
like,
I'm asking, and then and I was with a friend, and we waited until because it's like, okay, well, let's see what they're going to do. They're lined up, you know what I mean? So it seems like they're going to go. Yes. Watch. And so, but by them doing that to me, it made me go, okay, I'll figure it out myself. I figured out their entire operation because they said, fuck you. And I was like, okay, well, fuck you.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that to me because you pushed me to question everything and then you follow stuff. And so they come out of the gate. It might have been like 20 minutes, maybe 15. And they walk across to the school. This is at University and 42nd, where the old elementary school was, and they moved it, but they had blocked this off with fencing and were using it as a transfer site. We spent $6 million of ARPA funds for this, okay?
Wait, is this for
the transfer site for illegals? No. This was what the county and the cities were doing by aiding and abetting, giving them hotels, they were giving them money, they were giving them plane tickets.
Bringing people.
The people that crossed the border would get processed through Border Patrol, okay?
They were bringing them people
and
over
they
into
would
the
bust
United
them.
States.
They would break over the border, over the wall, around the wall. People would die jumping over the wall.
Oh, these were people.
These people invaded the border.
Got it.
Okay?
Got it.
And they got processed by Border Patrol, and then Border Patrol would either transport them to this place. These were the people that were like singles and different things. If you had a family,
coming over on a boat illegally.
Yeah, no, walking over crawling over the wall.
Okay.
Like they came illegally. They did not come at the port. I mean, some of them they would come at the port because they were using a CBP1 app where it's like you could make an appointment and then get processed there.
Right. But you're just talking about people just walking over the border.
Yeah, like people illegally coming over the border.
Not just Mexicans.
None of them were Mexican. They've been sending Mexicans back.
Right, that's where I'm getting so confused.
It was Russians, Chinese, Ukrainians.
Okay, so I think I've seen something
Africans.
At some point. So they're taking a route, these people.
Yeah, they would have pieces of paper that would show you 5 different locations. Some of them had a coordinate, some of them it was an address.
Through Colombia, but
oh yeah, through the Darien Gap and everything.
Okay,
well, it depends on where they came from. So some people were getting flights from their country, okay? And some of them, they couldn't just leave their country, so they would get like a work permit. Or they would say that they're going to Mexico and getting a, doing a resort package, right? So they would get 2-way tickets, not a 1-way, because that would trigger it, right? So they were taught along the way how to make it here. And so they would get, like I said, a work permit, so you could say, I'm going to go work in Mexico. So they were all coming to Mexico if they were flying in. Otherwise, they would come through the Darien Gap and all of that, right? And it depends on where they're coming from and who they talk to and whatever. Either way, all along the way, there's NGOs helping them to get to where they need to go. Like if you go through the Darien Gap, the IOM, the International.
So along the way, people are helping shuffling them along.
Yeah, they're feeding them, they're giving them food, they're giving them rape kits so that if you get raped, you get a morning after pill, a wipe, and a condom, just in case you get raped along the way. And these people all had, none of them, videos and stuff. This is where you go, and especially like in New York, the people that were getting those hotels and stuff, they're like, this is how you do it. Come here and get these benefits, type of a thing. And so it was monkey see, monkey do. And so the people that would fly into Mexico, and that's a crazy thing, they'd fly into Tijuana sometimes, for most part actually, or be bussed in, depends, and then go all the way out to Jacumba, which is 50 miles east, and it's like you could cross right there at San Ysidro. Right. There's a port. And you know, it's like, but they would be paying somebody to take them over here, so then a coyote would bring them across, take them across some really treacherous stuff much of the time, because they have these locations, and at those locations is where the Border Patrol would pick them up. So everything is coordinated. Okay, so the Border Patrol has then, at their open air detention sites, is what they're called, they would have water, toilets, and sometimes shelter, like some kind of.
So pretty much knowing that.
Yeah, they knew they were going to be there, so they could go pick them up. They would process them, and so if it was a family, they would go to the Ramada Inn, just down off of the 8 and Camino del Rio. Yeah. Right, and they've now renovated it. Yeah. So they would take them there, and they could stay for a day, and they would get a bus there, and then, or the Border Patrol would drop them off in their vans, and then they would get a bus out to potentially the airport, or they could have like a taxi come pick them up, and then they would go off to their destination. And then if that was like a single person, they would do the drop-offs, like the ones at Iris Transit. Well, in the interim of going to Iris Transit, it's like they were doing the drop-offs at Iris, then they got the $6 million of ARPA funds, opened that school site so that they didn't have to drop them off on the street, so they could hide it behind the fence. Because when I saw those men walk across, I see a white bus, they got on the white bus, and I'm like, where are they going? This is so interesting. Like, that was the coolest investigation I've ever done. I was like, oh my gosh, and like finding all their stuff, I'm like, this is amazing. But so they get on the bus, and I didn't follow at that point, because it was like, you know, I wasn't privy to much, but I went back to Stephen Whitburn, right? And I'm like, and I want to get back to what kind of they were doing, because there's more to that I want to say. But so I go to Stephen, and I'm like, I just want to know, like, what's going on here. I was counting the homeless, and then I came across the church here. Oh, that's what you were doing. And I'm like, and I see these military-age men behind a fence, and I'm wondering what's going on. And I was like, I said illegal aliens or something like, and he's like, we don't find anybody who's illegal. But he's like, but what we were doing here today is counting the homeless. I'm like, no shit, dude. What I'm saying is, why did I see these people? Then they walk over to here, and there's a white bus. Like, you can't tell me what's going on. Just tell me that's the transfer site, you son of a bitch. We paid $6 million for it. We have every right to know. And that $6 million went to SBCS, South Bay Community Services. They spent $2 million of it on their employees for 4 weeks. 4 months and 3 weeks. $2 million. That's a third of it. And then the bullshit breakdown was like the most ridiculous bookkeeping I've seen. And that's what the county was given. So this is how these NGOs take this money, right? And so you can't trust them. And then they were going to take another $25 million, the county, and build a permanent one. And then they didn't, because things changed. Trump came in and he shut the border down. Okay? But it's like, you know.
You're going to build a permanent one?
Yes. What? $25 million of our dollars. But you got to understand, too, FEMA was giving like billions of dollars out to across the nation to different NGOs. When was this? During COVID and after, yes. So like that's where you didn't see a lot of it, because in 2021 it was
nobody went on the freeways except for us. Because we were moving around.
Yes, but they were being hidden anyway, because it's like hidden in plain sight. Though you'd see like a fence around something, and those were telltale signs.
Damn.
Like there's so much. We paid for that.
In time counts, like I'm like, I never. We were 3 years. I don't remember anybody pointing in time counting my ass.
Yeah, that's what I always ask them too. Like, even if I counted them, I would ask, is anybody helping you? And they'd be like, no. And I'm like, what are we doing here?
You don't, and that's what I said too. I don't know what the point is. I think I said at one point at City, why do we have a hot team? Not one time has that hot team came over to me and my family and given me a pack of used forms, some cotton balls. Something that would have been useful besides questioning me how long, you know.
No, but you know, if you came across the border, they would go right to your aid. and would have given you anything that you needed and then sent you into a hotel and then put you into housing. So at Cesar Chavez Park, there was a bunch of homeless illegals that came.
I think
Do you remember that?
Yes,
they cleaned it up immediately because it was an eyesore. They said, we have to take care of this. This is very sensitive. And so they immediately put them into housing. And I'm like, see, that's the problem.
They were all
yes, but that's all over the city. Why do you pick them?
Right.
What is that? That's not fair. You can't even take care of our own. That's what I was so mad about is that I'm like, you're not even taking care of our own people and you're giving them like refugee cash assistance checks. You're giving them housing. You're giving them medical and you're denying our own people.
Right.
And so I'm like, I would always be like, go after the politicians. And this is where people would take me wrong too and say I'm a bigot and that I'm racist because I was like, you're not listening because I'm talking about the people that incentivize this. I wanted to talk to the people that came across and I did until these NGOs would go to them and tell them, put on a mask. Don't talk to these people. In fact, down in San Ysidro at Dairy Mart, which is an open air detention site called Whiskey 8, they had this document on what to do if you encountered someone like me. And it was basically like, hide, don't tell them things, like they're not on your side. Like it was very well detailed.
Wow.
And I was like, that's so egregious because you are sowing discord with the people in America and the people that are coming across and choosing a side for them. And that's where this ALPR comes in and they're defending them. And it's like, you don't even care about your own people. Like,
well, and this is where I had to, because it's what I had to say yesterday. I said, I'm not chasing a voucher. I'm not looking to be cool. I'm not trying to be in any limelight. I don't want to be doing this at all. But I'm a contributing member to society, and I am still trying to help the people no matter what. But what you're doing, what I'm doing is for face. Like, I don't want your fucking voucher, but I'm trying to help people understand that they're putting me in a situation, essentially, by, I say the government, like, taking this voucher, and now they're taking it away, and and doing this shit with me, when I could have just got on my way, saved my money. I said, all I'm asking you is to stop ticketing me.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, I don't leave a mess. I'm not asking for any of your resources that you weren't giving me anyways because he worked too many hours. And I didn't even know that, like, during rainy time, you could call and get a possible hotel if you called in time.
Wow.
You didn't know that?
No.
Like,
call who, though?
You call 211.
Okay.
And so they would put us up in, this was at the very end when we were all, like when I was working with the reporter, you know.
Right.
Someone said, you know, if you have a family, if you call, and it's supposed to be inclement weather.
Okay.
They have hotels set aside for families or for certain people, like if you're over a certain age. And I was like, dang, I wish.
Yeah, but what does that mean? You're like set aside, so you're not using it until then, and like you can't use it for people to in the intro. I don't know.
So I mean, you would have to call, and so if there was a certain time frame before they put it in place. Said, yeah, it's going to rain this certain amount.
Right. Okay.
And so you'd have to keep calling and being like, did they give you the
okay?
Did they okay? Did they give you the okay? Literally, you know. But this is the thing. We have this money, like you're saying, and we're not, like, I have kids that are in school that I'm trying to show how to be a contributing member to society and contribute to their community, and yet we have people that are not of the community that somehow, like, I didn't know any of those things.
Well, think about this. FEMA is where a lot of this money was coming from, okay?
Right.
And so it went to Catholic Charities, the most of it.
Well, I started.
And they filed for bankruptcy due to pedophilia.
I started researching all the
and it's like, so why are we giving them money? You can't even follow the money from them. I had to follow it from FEMA, but also then they would share it with Jewish Family Services. They were the main recipients of those funds. Now, when that was happening, there were storms and different things that were taking place, and they were telling people, like, we're only going to give you maybe a couple $100 maybe, but you have to pay us back. We don't have enough money to really help these disasters. And it's like, what? Yes, we do. You just gave it to all these people that you've paid to even get here. Why are there coordinates on this page so that they know exactly where to go? That's very strange to me. And why are they acting like I'm on their land? That's scary.
Right.
I'm like, and I'm just trying to help, but they would immediately be like, want food and water because they were used to getting it along the way. And it's like, I haven't even eaten or had food. But they would get really demanding. And it was like, and not everyone.
Right. No,
you know, but it's not demanding in a way of they're desperate. But like
I've
deserving.
been given this whole time, and now you don't have anything for me. Who are you? Like, yes.
And it's like entitled, and it's like, holy crap! I was, and they would call them new Americans, and I'm like, they're not new Americans. What are you talking about? They just crossed the border illegally. If I pick them up, I will get arrested for trafficking. So how is it not illegal what they did? Well, why would I get in trouble for picking up somebody who just is a new American?
This is nuts. It's nuts. And so I follow a lot of UK stuff because what they're doing over there. Have
you seen the ALPR stuff?
Yeah.
Do you know what they're using it for?
Well,
low emission zones.
It's so beyond crazy. So a kid just got stabbed and said, I've been stabbed by. They're letting all these refugees come in and then saying, oh, it's this whole switch and bait thing. So, because they're really pushing digital ID over there, and that's why I watch over there a lot, and I like watching.
Well, because it bleeds out too, so you can see things like the ALPR there. I like to see what they're doing because I'm like, they're going to use it here.
They're really pressing it. Well, and a lot of that satanic shenanigans.
Oh, it's there.
It's right because they have a lot of the grounds there, and the king and the queen, and so, and David Icke, who's a really...
Do you see that? I'm sorry, but can you see him sitting in his chair with all his, like, medallions and stuff? I'm like, you look like such a freaking weirdo.
They are. Have you seen some of his last painting that portrait that he's done of himself? The red with, like, the butter. It's a trip.
Yeah, it's evil.
Well, and so one of the main women activists that I follow over there, she goes by Covey Leaks. Her name's Fiona. You have to
I don't know if I've seen her.
You have to have.
Perhaps, I just don't know.
And David Icke is one of my he just says it like it is. And he's been saying it for a long time. But just the other day, he was in his town, she said that, beep, in your fat fucking sausage fingers or something like that. And I'm like, it's so weird. It's so weird, and that's what they're saying too. Like, we're still like the king and queen, and and they're talking about all of these things. Like,
Princess Diana. Ooh,
that's a trip too.
Oh man, they used to torture her.
Well, and she knew.
That's why they killed her.
Right.
But imagine being stuck in that.
Well, and so what about these kids? Their kids. You know what I mean?
Oh, they're wrapped up in it.
Well, one kid doesn't. The red.
Well, right, yeah.
He kind of, but she's an American.
Right, Megan.
It's all weird. Yeah, Megan. She was something. I didn't know who she was until whatever. But I forgot my whole point. But this is what's happening. So they're doing over there, letting these people. They're intermixing. Correct. They're intermixing cultures.
Yes.
To have this divide.
Yes.
And use it as something else.
Well, and how dare you treat these people that are suffering like that?
And to turn on, we're turning on each other by letting they're not.
Because you see them getting stuff and you don't, but they're doing it. They're playing the game, and then we're fighting each other, and it's like that's why I would always say, let's look at the people doing this. I understand these people. I mean, they just saw monkey see, monkey do. I can't blame them because why not? If everyone's doing it and you can come and get a free hotel that's like a $10,000 a room night, you know what I mean? Why wouldn't you? Right. And if you can live I met a guy who had tons of money, okay, and he had no problem with that, but he said he wanted to go stay in a hotel in New York. I'm like, you have to go like buy a house. Why would you want to do that? But that's their mentality. So it's like, but it's the people that gave them the money. It's just like those Somali daycares. They gave them that money. Of course they're going to be like, fuck yeah, I'll take the money and do this for you.
That's why I'm like, this kid didn't find nothing. You know what I mean? Like, they already
but that's why they have the act.
Right.
You know what I mean? The silence.
I think he really thought he was onto something. And so they were like, oh yeah, Kid, you don't think they didn't know that there's no Somalian daycare actually being ran? Come on.
Oh, they knew it.
I
They were
know,
giving them
that's
the
what
money
I'm
for it. That's why it's like,
saying.
look at these
Because it's-
people.
But people are really believing
Yes.
like he was.
Oh
This
my
Nick guy is onto something. I'm like, really? Shut the fuck up.
But it's everywhere. It's like,
Well, that's what
you
I'm
know?
saying. It's even here.
Oh, yeah.
And this is, I'm just keep getting my mind blown because our officials, when you're saying, okay, what's going on, how does that play out then? Like, they were prepared to receive these people here?
100%. So the Ramada, there was
Right.
the 4 Points over off of Rosecrans, which is now a Hilton or something like that, or whatever, County Suite, I don't know.
Down, up, right,
Yes,
down. Yeah.
And there's a new Canes right by there.
Yes.
So,
Well, that's at the right off the freeway.
Yes.
So Rosecrans goes.
no, I know, but it's right off the freeway, so right
Oh.
next to Canes
Oh yeah, so that
was
used
the
to be
hotel that was renovated. It was a 4 Points.
It was a 8. Not the,
No, it was a 4
super.
Points. No, that's still there next to it.
But I think
Right.
they changed that too.
They may have, but it's the one on the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And that was where they would take, so they did different things. So the Jewish Family Services was at the 4 Points.
Mhm.
And they also had a place just down the way off of Pacific Highway. It was an old CHP office
Mm-hmm. We
that
stayed at all of them.
that they gave up and put into surplus land. And this was back in 2017.
Is that right across from the school or?
No, it's like kind of in an industrial kind of a place. So it's like across a bridge where there's a lot of homeless that sleep. It's like, it's like you can see it from the freeway.
Mhm.
And they left that building and went to a new one over in Kearney Mesa, the highway patrol. It was like a border patrol division unit, which I thought was interesting. But it had asbestos in it.
Yeah.
It was filled with asbestos, that building.
Mhm.
And they put these people in there knowing that it was filled with asbestos. But so the state deemed it surplus land. So the city of San Diego had an opportunity, if they wanted to use it for affordable housing, they could. Otherwise it was going to go up for bid. So obviously they're like, we're not going to do affordable housing there. And so went up for bid, and Jewish Family Services swooped in and got it, and they can potentially just have leased it for $1. They don't really have to, because it's the state deemed
Right, because
that it was in the best interest of the state to use it as an immigrant site, whatever. And I was like, what? How is that in the best interest of the state? And so they would have buses that would take them there. So they were coming from the port of entry, where the CBP One app was used. So that down at San Ysidro, that port, they would pick them up on a white bus, which was Damaris Express. That was the bus company that got contracted.
Why did they say, turn your ass back around?
No, they said, welcome, we're going to process you. That was the game. So they come in and process them.
So
don't ask any questions. Many of them don't have IDs.
Who's gaining from that here?
Well, the NGOs gained a lot, just like they are on the way out. And all the government contracts, like the money kept coming in, right? FEMA. So, and then, like local people were getting contracts. So Crust Kitchen, right over off of Hotel Circle, went there one day to get some coffee and saw they were giving meals to these people. So they got a contract from the county. That's why you just like fall into it. And I was like, what is this? Oh my gosh. So I'd be like, just spotting stuff everywhere. And it was a very long investigation, but it figured out every nook and cranny. And so they were getting contracted by the county because they had already had food contracts before for other things. And so they were giving the hotel, the 4 Points, 500 meals 3 times a day. Okay.
Damn.
And I was like, so, what kind of food is it? And they said it's different food. You know what I mean? So it's like, even if it was like, whatever. And it's like, so you're not even getting them. And that's the thing. They would be like, because all you have to do is say, this is how much the food costs. And then you come in way under budget. Because they were getting like cup of noodles and shit like that down at the border. But they were also, because during COVID, they were making the government was making a lot of money off of this. So it's all a racket, right? So everybody across the board was making money. It was just draining us and taking services from us.
Right.
But they would do COVID tests and make them pay like $2,000 a test, but they would have to do it on the way in, on the on when you get to border patrol and the processing center. Then when they take you to that hotel, Like, and then when you leave the hotel and while you're there, like a bunch of times, so they could be like $2,000 a pop. We had to test them like 5 times.
It's offensive.
Yeah.
Because
I'm a bigot.
And during that time, we struggled.
Everybody was.
And I'm like, just stop giving me tickets. We've been kicked out. Like, what is happening? And I didn't know any of.
Nobody did.
Well, and so
they
that
hid
I
it
know
in plain sight.
And now that I know now, and what I had to say to yesterday was like, I'm not chasing anything, but something is not right. It doesn't make sense, and I just want to live my life, but I'm not going to sit here and act like nothing's happening while I'm struggling, being real and honest and doing, no, I'm sorry, it's not happening. And so you can say, oh, what's this going to do for you? I'm not asking them to do anything for me.
Leave us alone.
Right. But now it's time. And I don't think I'm better than anyone, and I don't think I'm perfect, but it's time to, this is where I'm at. It's time to show face.
Yeah.
For me, that's what I feel like. You have taken enough. I've paid enough. People that I know paid enough. People that I care about got the vaccine, and now we're not the same.
No.
Or dead.
Yeah.
And I don't forget. And that's what I told Johanna too. This was, I had 2 different conversations yesterday. I said, it is a crime against humanity.
Mm-hmm.
You have no idea. I had to tell my kids. Like, I think I said it the other day. You're going to have to ask, well, were you vaccinated? Besides, do you have an STD?
Right. Well, and if you
it's like, what the fuck, it's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong, and I'm over it. And I don't know where this leads me, because it's really disrupted. It's just been a thing in my, house, and just my family in general. Like, what are you doing? That's how I feel like that question is being and
right.
it could be my own self, it being louder than that, because sometimes what am I doing? And that's what I tell my kids. I'm like, it'll come, I don't know where this goes, but this is what's pushing me in this direction, and I'm over it. I'm tired. That's what I'm saying on that meeting. I just couldn't stop. And I'm like, this is stupid. I don't want to do this anymore. So please quit insulting my intelligence anymore.
Right.
Because there's the big fat elephant in the world here, and we're all staring at it, and how come I feel like an asshole? Or you're leading me to believe, can't rock that boat.
Right.
Literally, I think that was one of the oh, that's, you might not want to rock that boat. And I'm like, we're in a fucking tsunami.
I would be like, I'm tipping the boat over. What do you mean?
Rock the boat. We're fucking in a swirl. Like tsunami. We're about to.
Yeah, but that's everyone like, don't talk about that. Why not?
Right.
Why not?
Right.
Because it's so horrible. So you want it to continue?
Well,
it's like the house is on fire, and we're telling the people it's on fire, and they're like, no, that's just the sun. It's real warm.
Right.
It's
right.
Cool. I'm gonna stay here, and it's like,
I'm tired.
Oh my gosh, I really wouldn't stay there.
And
it's like right at your feet. And they're like, this is the way it is. That's the way the sun is.
Well, and that's what I literally said too. I said, this is a mental warfare, and I'm over it.
Mm-hmm.
And so until you can say and get real, you ain't doing shit. And I don't care if you're a fucking doctor or not in the county of San Diego.
They love
and
their
that
titles.
I don't care that I don't care. I don't care. Because if you cared, I wouldn't be in this fucking position either. So let's say what it is. You don't care about those fucking people. Like you were saying, when it hit me when you said that. Because I rewatched it, because it was something, I'm like, if you fucking cared, don't sit here and then gaslight me like I'm, like you're, we just gotta work together and think real hard, like see what works. I literally said, what are you talking about? I couldn't stop, and I was like, oh my God, they're gonna hate, because I could see their face. They couldn't see my face.
Right.
But I just couldn't stop, and I just kept, I'm like, what are we talking about? This is stupid. I don't even want to hear it anymore.
And they're like, why is she disrupting our meeting? Like, that's
Well,
what they look at it as. They're like, we just like to
could
do
just see
business
them being
as
like-
usual. We don't talk about those things.
I couldn't stop.
We
because-
have our script and we follow it.
Well,
And she's just really throwing us off. Like,
and I couldn't see if anybody else was chatting. You know,
Right,
what I mean?
'cause
It was
they'll
just a
make it-
Q&A,
yeah.
so
Oh,
I
right.
could only see what I was saying, and I was just like, "This is retard." And I literally said, "I'm like, this is the worst meeting I've been on in a long time. I just wasted like almost an hour of my life to try to get informed over nothing. You guys are just talking
indoctrination or whatever.
You're just talking about shit."
But they're doing their job. You know what I mean?
That's why I'm like, what are we doing?
If people really could see these people doing their job, I feel like they would be more aware. They just don't have time. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they can't
so-
because
this
they've
is
got to go to
stupid.
work and stuff. So it's like they intentionally do it that because they know if people were watching them. That's why a lot of times, like even at a school board down in San Ysidro, this one lady was like giving me a hard time because I set up my camera and I'm like, I go live, you know, and she's like, "You're coming down here to make us look," and it's like, "Oh, I don't have to do that. You do it yourself." Like me just putting it there allows you, it like puts you into that, but you do it. I don't do anything but sit
and
here,
don't gaslight
and
me.
I'll come and talk to you and like tell you guys that what you're doing is wrong, you know.
Right.
But like, I'm not. You got some ulterior motive that you've like made up in your head that is like crazy. But it's like because all of a sudden you're in front of the public, and it's like. That's the problem. Why do you guys not want to be seen? That's what I don't understand. If you were doing things that are beneficial to us, you would be like, absolutely, let's
that's what
be
you said
transparent.
too. You said, I laughed because you said, if someone was saying I was a child molester, I would say absolutely not.
Exactly. I said I wouldn't let that stand as fact. I'm like, but you guys do.
You said I would say absolutely I am not.
Right.
And I said I would have said the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
I would be like,
I wouldn't just go like, whatever. You know what I mean? But that's what they do. It's like they're like,
yeah.
And I'm all. But see, that's weird to me that you wouldn't even go no because you're letting the record stand as fact that you are.
Right, because like you said,
Prove
I
me
had to
wrong.
watch that again because it made me laugh. You're like, right.
Because
if someone, that's what I was like, that makes sense.
I'd be
If
like-
someone was like, "Oh, you're a molester," I'd be like, "Fuck you."
You want to make a fucking bet?
Right. And then they do. They're just like,
Yeah,
you know?
they just sit there, and that's why I'm like, see, that's what's weird.
Well, right. Even if someone would, I'd be like, there's certain things I'd be like, okay, I'm ignoring you. But if you're saying certain things, I'd be like, fuck you, don't ever. Because I'm not, and I don't even like that. Right. There's
like that's but it's like you're proven that you're complicit in it because you know there's abuse at Polensky, at the San Pasquale, at the detention centers. You know it. You know it's happening in the jails. You know it's happening in daycare. You know it's happening everywhere. Yet and you're funding it, but you won't do anything to stop it.
Right?
Yes, the San Diego PD. Yeah, for soliciting sex from like young girls.
Right.
And it's like, how many other ones are in there?
That was Friday, wasn't it? This last Friday?
Yeah, it was just recently.
Or Thursday?
But it's like, how many more just have it? And that was through a grand jury that would investigate. So it's like, you know, we can't even have like.
So they had to have been watching him then, right? Like,
I'm not sure. I need to look more into that because I don't know how that all took place. But it came through a grand jury report, and they followed through with the criminal charges.
Right.
So it's like, why did it have to be them? Who else saw that? Was Summer Stefan didn't want to pick that up? I don't understand. Like, and that's the thing. She will get full-on evidence and everything of pedophiles and people abuse, and then just not prosecute. And it's like, what? I don't. But get the lady with the watermelons and make her a felon.
This is retarded. And I mean, excuse my French. And it's retarded. It's so. It's like I said, it's insulting, and so that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I can't participate in stupid anymore. I don't want to be participating in this stupidness. Like,
it doesn't have to be this way.
That's what I wrote. I said, it really is. I literally said, it's really not that complex. How do we handle homelessness and the situation? It really isn't. As I said, it's not that complex. But if you have right people running the money, you don't trust. Nobody trusts you.
You can't.
Right. It's not that difficult.
No, but people don't want to get uncomfortable, even though they already are. You know what I mean? It's like, how much more uncomfortable do you need to be?
I'm just mind blowing. So what were you gonna say? Were we going back to the Carfax? Because I got some.
Oh, go ahead, yeah.
Let's see. Here's the point. First, the honest. I do not find evidence of direct contract between Carfax and Argus Sandax specifically. So if someone framed it as Argus sells to Carfax, I can't confirm that.
No, they don't sell it. They do.
Right. But the connection you're sensing, Israel, Carfax and Argus are local police data. Oh, use different exit doors for the same police data is what it says.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the actual story worth understanding. Carfax and the police pipeline documented. Carfax for Police is also branded as the Police Crash Assistance Program.
Yeah. What is that? How does that work? That's why I was like, you guys didn't even explain how you're really going to use it. You're just talking about how you're going to share it. Because listen to this. Says minimum fields needed. Carfax for Police confidential. Number 1, the VIN, report number, crash date, police agency, county, city, state, license plate number, license plate state, vehicle make, model, and year, point of impact, damage severity, fire, extraction, towing, airbag deployed, and then preferred but optional, driver's first, last name, passengers first and last. So it's like, I don't understand how you're going to use all of that data to solve crimes.
Well,
if an airbag deployed, or you like the car committed a crime, we're going to go after that
so
car.
Is this, but
like, how did
we have to, they only get it if the car crashes?
No, they're getting it
well,
on all cars.
But that's what, it's so weird.
But they'll get it if you do crash. I mean, they'll get that information as well. I don't know if it's like immediate.
It's called, okay, Police Crash Assistance Program.
Oh, wait, yeah, let's read this too.
The model Carfax gives police departments free crash reporting software.
Right.
An app called Driver Exchange.
Yeah. That's going to be totally secure data because it's going to go straight into BlackRock and Vanguard's pocket.
And in exchange, Carfax collects the accident data officers enter. But what if see, they do a whole switcheroo on, so is it data app or is it crash?
No, because they're going to make them use an app to to swap it back and forth. It's not going to be accessible to us, but that's the contract that
But why do we keep saying crash then? Because it's just data.
Well, exactly, but they have to use it as like it's a crash. It's I don't know.
That's
well,
what
that
I'm
actually
saying. No,
to solve crimes.
It's a word salad just to,
it is
to fuck with you.
But listen to this. So it says Carfax for Police is comprised of 28 billion vehicle history records on the Carfax flagship vehicle history report (VHR), with 6 million new records added every day. Every day, 6 million new records. So you guys, all your data is just going right. Yeah.
Well,
this type of data.
Oil change. There you go.
Yeah. Yes. The type of data provides law enforcement agencies with unique insights that help solve crimes faster. You know, so if they know when you got your oil changed, it's going to help them solve a crime quicker. It is. You know what I mean? And it says powered by agency provided data and provided exclusively to law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
The suite of investigative tools is available at no cost to more than 5,100 law enforcement agencies across North America. Unlimited licensure is available to agencies of any size. So they have it,
there's a lawsuit.
like they're going to be contracting with them soon to get their data.
But it costs nothing. Remember, but this is not going to cost you anything.
Correct, no.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
It's right. Well, right now, because they're like, we haven't done anything yet, but you have the option.
Right.
You know, these cities have contracted, like, I think they said Chula Vista and like
but
a couple other ones.
It's not going to cost ours, it's not going to cost them any. Well, isn't that what you said? This is not going to be at no cost, so we can, like.
I mean, they say that, but that's bullshit.
No, right. Well, somebody's making some. So.
Like, and these high mileage alerts.
It says a class action filed in Maryland in February 2025 alleges Carfax violated the Federal Driver's Privacy Protection Act by disclosing crash reports containing drivers' personal data without their consent. Substack.
Yeah, how are we, like...
And that it failed to verify the third-party buyers were even legally permitted under DPPA to receive that information.
But that's what happens. And
Right.
they sidestep it by going, we're not giving it to them. And it's like, you don't have to. It's not you that I'm saying is. Like, you're
Right.
idiots. Listen to this. Using high mileage alerts. Search a list of recent model year vehicles that appear on the road nationwide with high mileage and no previous history. Then they say, like, there's a record here that they were showing as though it would be that. And it has like 18,416 miles. And it says the first vehicle records show that many miles. And it says this is a red flag indicating this vehicle could be stolen.
What?
And it's like, so
Wait,
they're going to
that's
just
what it
start,
says on that
like,
page?
if you have a high mile vehicle, they're going to pull you over and be like, did you steal this car? I don't know why
is
you would
high mileage?
ascertain that.
Is that what it says?
It does. It really does. Because I was wondering, what are you going to use that for? I'm like, I mean, obviously to get you off the road, right? But if they stop you for that, then they see that
because
you're like,
the mileage automatically assumes it potentially could be stolen.
yeah. So
This
here
is
it
ridiculous.
says, after conducting a high mileage alert search, a Maryland Police Department opened an investigation on a flagged vehicle. After inspecting titles given to the DMV, so then
Yeah.
they discovered fraudulent and forged titles in multiple states.
Oh.
Inspection of the initial vehicle resulted in a replaced stolen vehicle and led to an arrest. See, what are the odds though of that being, I mean, come on. You know what I mean? This is just a way to track it, and they're giving you this bullshit answer as to what it's going to help us solve crimes. It's going to make your life easier. Just do it.
We don't even know if that's true.
Of course not. It's like, these are all propaganda updates. That's why I tell them I would like to hand this back
Was
off
it
to you.
18,000 miles?
Yeah, that's why I'm like, they're claiming that's high miles.
Well, that's
why
what
I'm all,
I'm saying. Like,
that is very low miles.
I don't see where the connection makes sense at all. And
But
that's
that's because
right. And this is the thing. I'm over it.
yeah.
Like, so, like, this, what are you gonna do? I'm like, I don't know, but I'm not doing that.
Yeah, but what we're doing is helping. It's like it takes, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
I'm not going to feed it and be like, yes, I consent. And it's like, no, I'm going to push back against it because that is how you help.
Well,
You know what I mean? I
right.
don't know what the end game looks like that
Right.
because I'm not psychic, so I don't know.
Right.
But I do know that it changes the trajectory of things.
Correct.
So I will continue.
Right.
You can sit there and watch it play out and then sit there and piss and moan about what's going on
Right.
when you could have done something.
Right.
You could have, and you
Well,
chose not to.
And so, like you said, well, then people aren't listening to what you said.
No.
Because now, because I was been listening, and that's why I was like, we have to get her on here because I want to understand. So now when I go to the next county and city, I have some questions, and they're gonna, I mean, I want some answers.
Yeah. When Stephen Whitburn was doing that, I was like, dude, this is why you guys are so, like, such dicks, is because you won't even be straight up. Just tell me what it is. I don't understand why you can't just say,
Right.
yes, this is the transfer site.
Right.
I would have been like, cool. But because he didn't, it made me, you know what I mean? It had to play out the way it did so I could uncover it all.
If it's not shady and you aren't participating in it, then you shouldn't have a problem with saying, because they're playing this slippery slope, but they don't maybe agree, but they have a job and they have their rent to pay, right?
Sure, and you're going to get kickbacks too from doing that
You
and
know.
keeping your mouth shut.
So on Tuesday or Thursday or at the city budget I'm going to have a question, and the thing is that, so what kind of answer will I get? Because you've already rubbed them in a way like they just think you're being
I'm like a
a
hemorrhoid
pill,
for them.
right? That's how I see them looking, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And you're asking a serious
Yes.
question, and I can see when you get pissed, you're like, "This is not this."
Quit playing the game.
Right.
Just be fucking straight up.
Just answer my question, and you guys are taking it as an I'm coming here to be a pill, like
Yeah,
I
she's
said, a hemorrhoid
harassing
in
us.
your,
Oh my god.
like you have nothing better to do, and so,
like what I'm saying is pointless. It's like whatever.
right, like you,
But I
just,
bother you. It bothers you.
right.
What I'm asking.
Well, then I
It's
feel
what
like
I'm
they look at
asking.
you like you're just there to cause problems.
Sure. Well, that's
And
what
I
they
think-
want to portray it as,
Right.
but they know that's not the truth.
Right.
They actually know.
Right. I believe that, and I believe that. But but it has gone in a way that that's how it's portrayed.
Of
I
course,
can
they
see-
need it
I
so
can
people
see-
don't trust me, and then they can say, "See, she's crazy. What do you
Right.
don't believe anything
Right.
she says?"
Right. So now, when I go and be like, I have these questions, and they'll be the same questions because I'm going to have you give them to me so I can ask them properly. And I want to know these answers. And it's different when I'm a mom that has these kids and is directly being fucked over. It's different than looking at you and you asking the questions.
They're just like, Andra, go away.
Yeah. You know, like how, because what? It doesn't affect you. It does.
It does.
No, I know.
All of that. That's why, like, I used to, and I would
it
like, again, because the border, I need to go back out there because there's a lot of stuff going on. They're actually building a wall and stuff. But when that was happening, I thought the only way I understood it is because I saw it.
Right.
You know, the news doesn't portray it. Like when they would find them in the airport and stuff like that, they would be like, they're being flown off to their location. You know, they spin it in like this sweet little package where it seems so cool, you know? And I'm like, but I was seeing something totally different. I said, and like even at Sandag, they'd be like, our border's secure. I'm like, no, it's not. What are you talking about? Have you not been there? It's weird. And then all of you environmentalists, they're laying trash in you just go find the trash. It's like, then you go, oh, well, they've been here. This is where they're coming from because they're dropping it all along the way. So it was like, there were just telltale signs of different things. And I'm like, you know, I have children's IDs. Unaccompanied children who left their IDs and nobody cared.
Right. And so that to me is important enough to where then you're going to answer my question because I'm going to have my two kids standing here, and if you're going to sit here and lie in front of my kids to their faces, you're a motherfucker, and now I'm going to call you, because now you're just a liar. Because you're going to do, it's different when there's no kids or nobody that, like, I've never been, had an interaction with them that was, you know. I'm new to that arena, and I do have kids, and I've never been in trouble with the law. So, you know, it's like, it's different. That I feel like I have the ability to be like I said, what they're saying is true, whether you like the way they're saying it or not. I can see that now. So,
I mean, they'll still give you some placated
no, of course,
answer,
but then
you know
let,
what I mean? Like,
but then let's go.
They'll try and explain it away.
Because I don't have, they haven't put this persona on
No,
me.
not at all.
And
I'm just
not
saying
that,
you will see clearly by their answer and how they try and sidestep it and give you some bullshit excuses to, like, you know, they needed help. I'm just saying, but it'll be interesting to see the way they spin it. And
I'm interested too, because now I know they're bullshit. And so I want that. I want to see.
And they will show you. They'll hand it to you on a silver platter.
They'll be like, well.
That's why more people should do it, because it's like, I mean, just go to them and ask them questions. You know what I mean? Like, just see how they act. You can experience it yourself. You don't have to. You know, but I recommend it.
I'm not just going there to asking just random made up questions.
No.
These are real questions that you have asked and that have been explained to me and understand. And I want to know that too. And I'm not being hard up in your ass about it yet. So now what answer are you gonna, you know, you're gonna blow another, like, they only have two people, right?
Well, and it's like I have boxes and bags of evidence that I collected on the border. Pictures, documents, like flight itinerary, people's passports, like phones. I mean, crazy stuff. There was a lot of, but I would take people, that's what I wanted to say real quick too, is that I would take people on tours. I called them border machine tours. And so I'd take people to the hotels. But I would, and I was like, I want to take them back to I want to go check it out and then go do another one there, because to see the aftermath, right? And how it's changed, but it's still taking place. And now it's probably more Mexicans than anybody else, because like they were turning the Mexicans away, for real. That's why I was like, people think they're Mexicans and they're not. I was like, because they're coming from Mexico. Do you know what I mean? They're like, they're Mexicans. I'm like, they're not. No. They're actually being sent back to they're like, you can't come across here, which is super weird. But once you see it, I was like, because I had to see it, and then I was like, oh gosh, because they're so good at hiding it. And so I'm like, if you start, then people start to see things and they're like, oh my gosh, I was seeing these white buses. And like, you know, once they experience it, because these buses, get this, So once they would know you're following them, they're taking the people either to or from the hotel or whatever area they're going, right? And they would tell the bus driver to drive around the block. And I'm like, you guys look super suspicious.
Right.
Why are you doing that? Just go and do your business. If you're not doing anything wrong, why would you do that? That looks like you just, for real.
You're all you got me.
Yes. So when people would
trick-a-roo.
see that, they're like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. You're right? But they had to you have to experience it. And so that I felt like was one of the best things too, to help open up other people's eyes.
Right.
And show them like, you need to, let's go into Mexico.
Well, and then people, my point is too, that you have to be listening. Then why else are you there? You know, why else are you there? Because one little thing, like, you know, I don't want this, or I don't, and then that's it. You know what? It's mind-boggling, because for me, it still doesn't do anything for me. You know, it's not like I'm going to get my voucher back or anything. But it's bigger than that. It's bigger than that.
Yeah.
Because I'm watching these people unhoused, suffering. My kids have gone hungry. You know, we've gone cold. We didn't have an RV, 6 people in a van. I'm a college graduate. Did you know I did an internship for the Navy training the sea lions and dolphins?
No.
6 months. You have to get clearance to do that.
Right.
Those are $1 million animals. I worked out there for 6 months training those animals. And I'm not even a vet. That's not even a vet. And I'm seeing them out here, and this is really? And it was an internship that wasn't paid. So I worked, and because I want, you know, they were going to hire a civilian. There's one position available. But 6 months, I got to work with the sea lions and dolphins.
That's cool.
Super cool. Super cool. But I can't, my husband works too much, so we don't qualify for anything. And you made me come here because if I didn't accept, that was one thing they told us. If we offer a service or something and you don't accept it, then we will for sure give you a ticket. That is for a fact.
Right. Yes. That was what they were being told to do. Correct.
Yes. And out of all the times I've had that we interacted with police, maybe twice, there was a set of officers. He said, that's what he told me. He said, I'm going to tell you something. This is what we have to start doing. So any police officer comes up to you, just say, oh yeah, okay, accept whatever. I was amazed. And I said,
that's what's cool. There would be some that will tell you.
These two, yes. And
not all of them. Most of them won't, but there'll be the one. Like one of them told me, they're coming after your guns next. Be careful. Stuff like that, right? To warn you, which is good.
And it was when they first started doing that, and he was like, I get it. He said, I've seen you, you know, we know we've watched you.
Yeah.
I see you have kids. I get it. I have to come down here because so many people, we were staying at Crown Point. And after so many people in the same day complain, so they were in the neighborhood, I'm sure they all had, it's stupid. We have to come down here and check it out. So this is why we're here. I'm just telling you the truth. And he said, I'm going to tell you something. And so that saved us, you know, from understanding, like, I said, I really appreciate that. And he said, so here, I'm going to hand you a piece of paper. We're all saying that you're taking the services, right? And I'm like, yes, I am, you know. And so we can't citation you if you agree to attempt to take these services.
I'm going to go there right now. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if everyone just knew to be like, okay,
and he said,
sounds good.
He said, just move, you know, we'll leave in a couple hours, come back. And I was like,
that's what I was going to do. Yes.
That's what I was going to do anyways, but he said, let's just, you know, let's appease the people.
Yeah, we got to show that we moved you. If you go back, it's not like we knew.
Right, and that's what I was saying yesterday at Synagogue. You can, this is here, data, whatever, but you can definitely, how you approach somebody is the choice you choose as a human to approach somebody. I don't care what the data is.
Yeah.
Like, remember that I have kids, and if you
yeah, but they don't even look at that kind of data. You know what I mean? It's like they're just looking at these tickets and like, oh my gosh, she's a repeat offender.
Yeah. Right.
She's such a criminal. If why can't she just follow the law?
Right.
You know, and they say all this kind of stuff like to make it, and then it's like, yeah, why can't she do that? You know what I mean? Like, what's wrong with you? You're making their job harder. Like, they have to have overtime right now because they're being overworked.
Right.
And you're going to make them go and give you tickets? It's like, that's their fucking job, okay?
Well, and these resources, there's no resources.
No.
So I'm getting tired of people saying when they call in about the marijuana, I can't stand her calling anymore. I just want to say, lady, get a new hobby. Come on, like,
you know, that's
the least of our worries.
I know.
Well, I used to work at SeaWorld
Well, think
too.
about pharmaceuticals, like there's
Dude, it's the cartel. I used to work at SeaWorld, and I would get so mad because there would be, like, the beginning of summer. This is when you could still interact with the dolphins. I was trying to be a dolphin trainer there too, and orcas, and then people with signs. People save their money all summer to come to, you know, SeaWorld, and that's their family vacation. They're like, "Wah," you know, screaming and throwing stuff, fruit and stuff at the cars. I'm like, get a life. Do you feel that way about abortion? That's what literally I'd be like. So would you be doing this at an abortion clinic? Get the fuck out of here. It's irritating because we used SeaWorld when I worked there. I worked in the education department, and you get people excited about that interaction that they get for that moment, and get to show them how amazing and that we are all connected, and that we want to take care of our environment, and because that's rare to get to be that close with a kid, and there's a handful of them. They're not taking them out of the ocean, you know what I mean? We're sacrificing a handful to get these kids inspired to want to take care of their environment and the animals, and show them how amazing they are and how smart they are and how we are connected. And so if we don't take care of our oceans and respect, you're killing these amazing animals.
Right, I guess, but then it's the devil's advocate, I would say, like,
and people,
you're taking them out of their environment.
But but they used to. These ones are either.
But I mean, even if you're bred there, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but it's a handful that's sacrificed to inspire.
But do they? I mean, are they mistreated? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like
not at the zoo and SeaWorld. I worked at SeaWorld. They are not. They get the best care.
But again, like, they're not even in the ocean. You know what I mean?
Not,
it's like putting in it. So I feel like it could be, you know, it could go either way. I mean, I just, you know, like I understand and appreciate what you're saying, but then on the other hand, I'm like, I still appreciate that when they're out in the wild, you know what I mean? And like, maybe we're not supposed to do that. I don't know. It's like they're,
well,
you
in
know.
SeaWorld, they're actually the only ones legally that can they go and they try to rehabilitate them, and if they can't, then they just, you know, keep them there.
Yeah,
but they do take good care of them. Yeah. But watching those kids' face and being like,
oh yeah, that's super exciting.
It is, because you could, their look on their face, like, because they're huge.
Yeah.
Some of these animals, and the dolphins, at the Navy, they're strong.
Well, did you hear about, like, women? I don't know where it was, but they were giving birth in these dolphin pools, and they banned it or made it illegal or something because it, like, there's something about it, and there's sonic. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Like, so they weren't having any pain.
Right.
And we're helping them.
Right.
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah, it's the frequencies and stuff like that, and it's like, oh, you guys got to take everything.
I just seen they took a boy that was, I think he was autistic and had some other issues, and had his life jacket on him and was laying him. They took him to the dolphin pool, and the women came over and were like touching his
head.
It was. Did you see that?
No, but I can imagine. That's super.
I mean, you
beautiful.
could see it was amazing. I was just like, how come I've never seen this video before?
Yeah.
But they automatically came over and started doing something.
Yes.
You know,
because they knew whatever it was, like,
and
there was something coming off of him.
And you could see his body relax.
Yes.
So I was just like, that is bad ass.
Yes.
And that should be happening more often. But
you can't have stuff like that.
No, we can't. We have to have. I don't want to say it. We gotta have seaweed soup. That's what my girlfriend was eating. It was her dentist, her doctor.
Oh, like the miso, like miso. Yeah.
He was gonna have seaweed soup. I think she said he was Japanese, and his mom, like, they would give after birth the mom seaweed soup to help rejuvenate the body. But his mom has Alzheimer's, and so he wanted to have seaweed soup because it was his birthday, but his mom doesn't remember him. So she's on her last leg, and so she was telling me, he said he wanted to have a lot of seaweed soup. So I said, we have to have seaweed soup instead of have dolphins help kids.
I know, right? Yeah, I mean, or just eat bugs like that. Or that thing in the schools, they're like trying to get kids, you gotta entice them.
I mean,
crickets and different things, and it's
cricket
like
flower.
mealworms or what, but it's like those are a crustacean,
Right.
and so anybody who's shellfish allergic would have I'm like, you are putting kids in danger by making them wanna, but it's because they're like, it's the new protein. They were really pushing that. That's gonna come back when they get rid of the meat. You know what I mean? They're gonna bring that in because they're like, this is, you know, and they were, because you'd see like a cricket farm or something, and they were making flour, and it was like
That's just
$40 to one or something, like how much more expensive it was, and I was like, I don't think that's
right.
that's not. You guys need to work on that one a little bit more.
You're
Like
not
take
selling-
that back to
you're
the
not selling
drawing
it
board
well.
and like
Yeah.
refigure that out. You're not selling people enough. Like you got the kids hooked because they think it's cool. But you got to make it cheaper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Otherwise, I mean, give it to us as like, you know, when you're just handing out rations to the people. Give us, you know,
It's
bugs then.
really ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. And so I'm seeing on the fruit too,
Oh, the peel?
whatever
A
brand.
peel? Oh.
Well, I seen that on avocado, but it was just on the feed about all of those strawberries from what's that brand?
Oh, yeah. Driscoll.
Yeah.
What about
It's
them?
it's a
Or is it
fucking
recall?
cake with just shit.
Oh, yeah. They put a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
great. 'cause
you're
they're-
they're killing us.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, but that appeal stuff too, they're like, we don't want stuff to like rot, you know what I mean? So we're gonna make sure, that's why we put formaldehyde in you guys
Oh shit,
with
that
all
reminds
the
me.
vaccines and stuff. We're
Oh.
really trying to make sure you don't age, you know, or just to decompose.
This is how bonkers it is. We're sitting here and it's like laughable because it's so stupid.
is.
It doesn't make
It's funny. It's like a
any-
comedy show.
We are literally that. I said that on the feed too. I'm like, we aren't civilized at all. So to sit here and have this Health and Human Services meeting on whatever this is stupid. I was getting pissed. And I'm like, I'm gonna be late to actually have a real conversation. This is stupid. We're not civilized. That's, I think, the last thing I wrote. Quit fucking.
They're like, we're gonna turn off your capabilities now.
Well, let's end this meeting.
Yeah,
Let's end this
I think
meeting
we're done.
on a new
On a good
up
note.
And I'm like, shut. I wanted to say shut the fuck up.
Right?
There was no good note. You made me mad because just answer the questions. Just be honest. Let's just say what it is.
We can't. They
We
sugarcoat
pay
it. They
money.
give you this beautiful little package to
We
be like,
pay-
we're solving crimes.
We pay money for genocide.
Give us your data and we'll solve crimes with it.
We're corrupt, and we're like, oh, that's just how. What do they call that? The Israel lobbyists when they come in at Congress.
What do you mean? What do they call them?
Yeah.
Duels.
No. When you're they have lobbyists in Congress
right.
from what do they call?
Yeah, APAC.
APAC. I
Right.
can remember it.
Sorry, I wasn't sure if
Yeah,
that's where we were going. Yeah.
I mean, that's what this.
That's
is
all you got to follow is like who's getting paid by
Right.
them. Like Steve Hilton,
Right.
that's like in the lead. Total APACer.
It's so and
He's not even American either. How cool is that?
how many people that are right, like the mayor, the governor, New York. So, how many of them? Like that doesn't make any sense to me. And do you know they do a chime now at 5 o'clock
Oh,
to
they
do
do?
the
to pray.
pray? Yeah,
Oh.
it was just in a certain neighborhood. It's in a neighborhood where he does the bells. I just read that
You know.
a couple months ago.
Freedom
My
of
brother-
religion.
But we got to chime the whole town. Like, you don't even hear. Rarely do I hear the church bells anymore anywhere.
Oh, they got rid of bells. Did you know that? Because of the frequency. You can't
Yeah.
have healing.
Yeah.
Those are bad.
Yeah.
Break all the bells.
Stupid.
The Liberty
So my
Bell.
brother's I'm from Sacramento, and he brought this up too because he's getting real pissed too.
Good.
He's like, starting. He's like, but that's what people are doing. They're moving.
Now
Well,
move.
it
You got to stay familiar with where you're at.
because you get so sick of it. Like,
Yes,
my
but-
husband's from Idaho.
Okay.
We could move to Idaho. It's gonna come to you no matter what.
Yes. So
It-
be
it-
familiar though with where you're at.
Well, yeah. Well, he's lived there his whole life. He's like,
No, but I
can't
mean,
take
like,
you
if
right.
you move somewhere else, he's not going to know
Right,
from
and-
Timbuktu. And
right.
it's like, dude, at least you know the freeways. You could be like, listen,
Right.
if shit hit the fan. and I, had to go this way or figure out my way, and I don't have my phone. I know how to navigate the place I'm at because I know if I go east, this is where this is.
Going, like where my dad lives with his, like
another
state where, not just randomly moving, but people are moving to different states. But so there's a lot of East Indians in Sacramento, and so the last time I visit, there always were. But the last time or the time before, I'm like, dude, they're all truckers now?
Yes, they are. They own all the trucking.
He said, Natalie, they own everything.
Yeah.
They own, they're all the drivers.
Yeah.
I don't even know, you know how many, he posted, like, how many accidents there are?
Yeah.
And they're all the drivers for the Ubers. They're all the drivers for the Lyft.
Because their laws aren't the same.
They
don't know.
But he's like, who's allowing this? Who is allowing this? And he was like, do they even have driver's license? But if no one presses the issue, like, he's like, they're taking, like, everything. They own everything. The farms, the trucking, everything. So we just let them come in here and,
China owns a lot of the farms and all that.
Right.
So it's like, yeah.
So, but we can't go, we're not going over there and buying part of India's, like, I'm going to go over and work
No, but we like to bomb people.
Right?
We like to kill them. We like to massacre people. All
and
for the greater
right,
good.
Right.
And then we wonder why America suffers. We reaping what the government has sown.
And that's what, and this is what's pissing me off. And that's what my friends, well, I'm just a dust, I'm just a little speck. And I'm like, fucking shit, dude. I'm not a speck, and I don't want to be treated like a speck. And I'm barely surviving, and I want to do good shit. And this motherfucker, whoever you are, people, are preventing me from doing that, and I don't think it's okay.
No, they think it's like people aren't to blame, like, and facilitating all this. They think, like, it's just by chance that the economy is crashing and that, the stocks are down, oh my gosh, the food is all the inflation. They blame all these things so you don't go, someone's orchestrating this. Like, they're actually doing this to you. They hate you, and they want to see you suffer, and so they're doing everything in their power, but guising it under that they're helping you. Because they're offering you these services while they're destroying your life, right? We're here to pick up the pieces.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And they're really not offering, but they really aren't offering me services.
Of course not. Because they need to keep you in that place. And also believing that they're here to help and that they only have so much money. Right. And that we're really trying to get help to more people.
And that's what I said, quit saying you're going to start it. We'll have to start this pilot.
Yeah.
I'm tired of pilot programs. Yes. I'm tired of hearing, like, we're going to have to
departments.
Self-sufficiency. Next week, I probably because I think it'll be my period. I'm going to probably explode at county and be like, shut the fuck, quit saying these words.
They'll be like, Audra, wait, what's happening?
It's like, repeat.
Yes.
And this is stupid.
Well, and they pick people to do very good, like, do you hear how I read it? You know what I mean? I'm just playing around, but I'll be like, powered by the agency. Like, they do this.
Side people.
Yeah, but
what are you saying?
But they have to do it in that way so it seems so great.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, this is what we're doing. And so I'm a good storyteller.
And the little graphs. I'm like, I don't care.
It's very colorful.
I'm over it.
This paper is good, thick paper. You don't usually get that. There's colored pictures. We have graphs.
Right.
They're doing a very good job. But they paint it. And so if you just see that, right, if you're like, they're solving crimes, fantastic, great, take all my data, go ahead. But you're like, wait a minute. Let me ask you some questions about that.
Yeah.
Or let me actually see what you're doing with that data and then go, is it really working? So you're telling me that you were finding a stolen vehicle because of the high mileage alert.
Yeah. That's the most ridiculous. That's how stupid it's getting. 18,000 miles. That's
that is
stupid.
High miles.
And someone had said to me, like you just said.
It's like if it was 118, I could see.
Correct. Maybe,
right?
Maybe.
Like the cars go to 300, like. So
it's that's what I'm saying. It's so insulting. I can't even take it anymore. And so it's pissing me off. Everybody's pissing me off.
Yeah.
It's like, quit acting like this is normal. It's not normal. And someone literally a couple days ago was like, I literally said, I don't really think it's like this orchestrated thing. They said that.
Right. It's just by chance that all of these things.
I can't see like this being an orchestrated. What?
Why not?
Right.
Well, then that's where you would go, okay, well.
He was like, there's too much ego, or, I'm like, yeah,
Sure.
eventually will implode, but you don't think that when he's going over to China, he's not figuring out like how the best way
Bring
China has been able to do what they do to get
their
them.
social credits.
Yes, you're
China, it's
telling.
coming on. They're
and-
calling it something else here. I can't
and-
remember what it is. but
And
yeah.
who he took, who did he take with him? His son-in-law and
Jared.
right. Like these are
Well,
who
you
you
know
had like
Trump
showing
is,
up with your business people. This is stupid.
He's now Jewish. You know what I mean?
Is this just from this week? Because I
No,
feel like
he's been, and most people think, you know.
I
When
thought
his
it was a
daughter
kind
and
of like a
son-
joke
Yeah,
when they're like, "Oh, he's our first Jewish president." I think I just seen that last week, and
Oh,
I was
that's
like, "Did I
interesting.
dream
No,
that?"
but-
Because I watched so many things, and I'm like, "Wait,
Allegiance.
did someone make a meme from that?" Or
I mean,
because
can
it's
you believe that he is like bulletproof? I mean, people have
Oh
been
my-
trying to assassinate him and
this is
have
so stupid.
totally not been able to do. I mean, can you
4
believe
times?
that?
I mean,
Gosh, that is so lucky. They're like, he is protected.
And
You know.
it is getting really everything. And it's like, okay,
He
people
got
are
his
getting-
ear. Did you see that?
And they got into the. Did you see the
Sorry, it's
reporter
just-
where? Well, he got
And
on,
the lady-
somebody got on the White House, and she's like turning like, questioning, is that gunfire?
Right?
It
Oh.
like a.
Yeah. Well, did
My
you
brother-
see the first one though? They're like the people in the audience are like,
Yes.
"Oh, what are they doing? There's weird. That's gunshots," and they're just like, "Oh my gosh,
Right.
this is great."
Well, and they showed different angles, and one guy's like, it's like he flipped the chair on purpose, like when he was like trying to get away, but to make it like
It's more.
it was from this angle.
But you see the ladies protecting him. She's like got his head. We got you, Mr. President.
Is that the second
We
one
got
when they're in the ball?
No,
like,
this was the one out.
the first
the
one?
first one, and like when
well,
they're
it shows that
you know,
lady,
showing
she's all
the-
like behind the thing, and then she's all.
yes, but I'm talking about the Secret Service that was put in place. The women where it
Well,
was
she
like
was the
she's
same
like
one on the second time, right?
it's
Just
short, much shorter than him. She's like, "I got you. Or I'm gonna protect you,"
like-
and it's like,
right.
oh my gosh,
Is
like,
it the
this
same
is the
one
DEI
that
hires.
when they were just in the ball? Like, this is why we need a ball
Potentially,
room.
I'm not. I just
She
can't
like
partake
black.
in some of that
It's so
stuff.
stupid.
Oh, I don't know.
It's so stupid. Black hair, like.
Oh no,
short
this
ponytail
woman was
is like a-
blonde or something
oh.
like that. Yeah, so they got to switch it up. You know what I mean?
It's
and
so,
just
I mean,
really-
it's really.
I'm not saying a woman can't protect, but it's like that was a joke. You got this tall man, and you have like me sitting in front. I got you, Mr. President.
Right.
Don't worry, you just
Right.
got shot in the ear, but we'll make sure that they
It's
don't.
all like a nick.
I knew, but get this though, like the part of the initiation too with Israel is getting pierced, so that's a way to do it in front of people, and then be
Mhm.
like, oh,
Well, I thought
but
it
like
had
the
something to do
whole
with the eye
package
too.
and stuff. It's like, or the wrap.
Right.
And it's like, he wore that for, I'm like, this is the most ridiculous. And people are just like, oh my gosh, he is like Jesus. And it's so great. I'm all, what? You guys can't see. This is the biggest
I always.
charade. Oh.
It's
And they're really bad actors.
so
I'm like,
bad.
can we do this? Watch
I
something
know.
else.
And I don't understand.
Flip the
this one,
channel.
like, why is this is not funny any. It's
It
like,
is.
why?
but it's
What,
not.
what
It's
is
sad.
every? And that's why I get so pissed. It's like this mind game that you play with yourself. I'm like, what are we doing? Because,
No, what are you guys doing?
right? Can you just catch on faster and get on the bus and let's fucking stop?
Just rip the Band-Aid off. Why
Right.
are we like pulling it off slowly? Like, well, I don't know, it might bleed if I fully pull it off, and it's like it was never bleeding in the first place.
Right.
You're just so scared that it's going to, so that by the time you pull it off, you scratch yourself and it's bleeding, and you like made that happen. I
Right.
mean, it's like, come on, you guys, let's just.
Right? Does it really hurt that bad? That's what I tell my kids too. Sometimes when they're little and they're like, I'm like, you're not even looking, and you haven't even gotten the bath, and it's not gonna sting, like, you know, like.
Just the drama.
Right.
Oh my God.
If you'd stop freaking out for a second
Yes.
and think about, okay, does it really hurt?
Because then
you've
they'll be
seen
like,
this
oh, it's not even that bad.
every time,
Yeah. And you're like,
every time.
but that's what they would say. It's
Right.
not that bad. It's
And they'll be
worse
like-
being on the other side
Right.
of it, where you're going, this is the way it is.
Right,
It's worse there.
right.
On the other side, it's so freeing because you're like, I am not. This is it.
Well,
It's empowering.
Twice yesterday in two different like conversations, it was like, well, what are you gonna do, or what? Like, I'm just tired. Like, I don't understand. I know I'm gonna go to county and someone's gonna get a good question asked. Why aren't we asking, why is it okay? Why do I have to feel bad? I don't feel bad, but I don't understand why you don't understand what I'm saying.
I don't know, people think I'm harassing people.
Right.
You're just harassing them. Who are you gonna harass today? And it's like, I mean,
It's not, and that, but you
Sure,
can laugh it
it's
off
fine.
sometimes, but
Oh.
that's annoying.
yeah, but
like-
I'm like, it's like, I mean,
You're
everyone should be doing it.
Right. Because it's gonna get real good when come August. Like we just had an inspection. I had to have my recertification for my EHV.
Even though they're taking it?
Yeah.
What?
I'm not joking.
No.
I had to turn in all this paperwork.
They're
I'm like-
taking it, and they want you to fill
I
that
had to,
out.
I had
That's
to
so cool.
recertify.
Right.
It's gonna get real funky because I'm gonna go sit somewhere. You know, this is where there's becoming, because I don't know if my kids understand.
I mean, definitely
I
not
haven't
to the
really,
extent that-
because in my mind that's not gonna happen. And so like my like, oh, I don't know what you think. You know, what do you just? I'm like, no, I understand that things attract to me, and I'm not gonna live in a fear-based world because look at what you're doing, and then trying to act like, oh, I just don't give a fuck, and I'm gonna make somebody give me my voucher. No, you're missing the point. Oh, that's what I'm not doing it to have somebody save me, but it's gonna get real funky when I'm gonna be sitting on someone's porch and then they're gonna arrest me for what? You know, like it's gonna get real funky when you have a whole bunch of 700 and some odd people sitting somewhere. You know, what are they gonna do?
They'll bring it, you know, who knows? I mean, they'll just.
That's what I mean. It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting in what's going to happen because nobody is there saying anything. Like it's you there, and you have your regular Blair Beekmans and you know John shows up,
Milo
and
yeah,
right,
Paul.
and that's turned into like, and like she said the other day, like how about just show up all the time and not
Just sometimes when you
Right.
like want something or when
Right.
you're told to,
right.
you know, because that's what they do. You
Right.
need to come in and support this.
Right.
And you can tell, and it's like, but why don't you see everything else that they're doing?
Right. And there's who else? That's what I try to like. I have to go and say, you motherfuckers. I don't say you motherfuckers.
Yeah.
But I look like a regular person. Now you see me. What about all of these other people? And you guys want to go to sleep at night and be like, I give it a good old attaboy today.
Well, I mean, it's like the city walking out of the meeting, right? And there's all the homeless right at City Hall, and they just walk by like it's, I mean, business
Because
as
it's not
usual.
right.
They're not concerned. I mean, I did see Deanna go and give some of her food to a woman,
Mhm.
like an older black lady, which I was like, good for you. I was all, oh my gosh, you know, but at the same time, it's like, this is a problem because you
It's a
guys
problem.
act like it's not there and they clean it up in the morning so people don't see it, but you guys walk right by them.
What are we doing?
Like it's nothing. I don't
Right.
understand how you can't go, dang, we gotta fix this. It's just like, I gotta go home and then we'll be back tomorrow and
talk
but we
about
won't
it
have to
again.
see him. It's only we're seeing him now because that meeting ran late. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like out of sight, out of mind, even for them, because then they're like, I don't even want to have to look at it and
Right,
pretend
my days,
like I'm not doing my
I'm
job.
off.
Yeah.
I'm off. So, I guess then, what is it that you think would be something we need to do as a community or a city?
Quit paying taxes. Quit.
Right.
Quit consenting to what they're doing. Stop
Right.
allowing this.
Right.
I mean,
Well, one of the things I was like, just pull your kid. Nobody take
Oh,
their
take
kid to
it.
school.
Absolutely.
But how many people could actually sit at home
How
with
can
their
do that?
kids?
Right. How many? You
Well,
know.
and have to deal with them. 'Cause
Oh yeah,
they-
most people don't want to. That's why they send them to school, daycare, whatever, and then the weird
Right,
things
and then
happen
they
to their
work
kids.
because they have to work to pay their
Sure.
rent. It's not easy, but I can't
I mean, start talking to people about stuff even. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, start having conversations. Quit putting the, blinders on because
Well,
you think it's too difficult.
right.
Because again, it's already too difficult and it'll be easier for you on the other side of it.
Right.
But you're going to suffer more the more you praise these people and just go, yeah, go ahead, you represent me.
Right.
All while they're coming and asking you for more money, and so you got to decide, shoot, am I going to feed myself
Right.
or my kids?
Right.
I mean, obviously but there's people that'd be like, well, screw my kids. I'm just
Right.
kidding, but I mean,
Right. Right.
they're resilient. They yes.
Right, and that's one thing that it keeps me. They are resilient, and I rather them suffer now than suffer later, in a sense of when it comes to freedoms. But if everyone just didn't take their kid to school,
Mhm.
there's one thing.
Yeah.
Because
Use
Johanna
cash.
was getting right. Johanna was like, she was like, I don't believe, and I wasn't trying to make her feel bad. What two other people had said to me yesterday was, just because you believe what you believe doesn't mean I have to believe what you believe. And I'm like,
No.
you don't. I'm not trying to force you to believe anything. And I'm not saying I'm doing it the right way, but the facts are the facts.
Well, I mean, just look at this. Here, I'm showing you, but with their own stuff. That's not my opinion. That's what they're doing.
That's what I said. And I said, and for me, it's enough fact that makes me so disgusted that I refuse to participate in it. So don't act like I'm a certain way then
Well, the
either.
problem, right?
That you think this is fun for me? I'd rather be having a job and making some money and enjoying my life. It's never, if we don't do something as a collective, it's gonna just keep going.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, 100%.
And so how, in your opinion, going and doing to the local governments and participating, how effective do you think that is?
Oh, I think it's very effective.
Yeah.
Because they're super bothered by it. And it, makes them act a certain way. If it wasn't something that was pushing back up against what they were doing, it wouldn't bother them.
Mhm.
But it does because of that. So it's like, that's why they have to combat, you know what I mean? And be like, you're just dangerous. Like, people will be like, why do you, like KPBS putting out an article saying they're speaking to these people this way. And it's like, why are you concerned about my language when you should be concerned about what they're doing? Are you listening to what I'm saying? Sure, I could use different language, but I'm pissed off.
Right.
I've been assaulted in that room.
Right. And nobody's
So,
right.
There's no justice there. I have a reason to be pissed off, but so do you. Mine just falls under a
Right.
different category as well.
Mhm.
But I mean, I'm in the same boat as you. They've just retaliated against me for bringing it up and trying to tell you.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So it's like, that's why, again, I don't go for to change them, but in going, it does change them.
Right.
Right?
Because they have to show face.
Sure. But it also shows the people to what we're dealing with. And so I kind of have to be that, so you can see how their behavior is. It's like they want to watch our behaviors and all this, but it's like, just watch how they treat me. Or anybody else, for that matter. And it's like, why is that okay? But yet you're concerned about my language when I'm just bringing forward, like, why are you spending the money on this? Why can't you run a meeting right? These are the things that you guys are supposed to be doing for us, but you're not. And yeah, I may say a fuck you in there or two.
Well, does that get your attention if that's what you have to do?
Sometimes it does, because they'll be like, oh my gosh, right? And it's like, but people more and more so as the years have gone on, like especially with that pedophile video where I said, I'm just wondering if you guys are all pedophiles. Like, people are like, she's saying exactly what we want to say to them. And like, we should all be saying that. We should all be questioning these people. And so I'm like, that's what I hope to inspire, is for other people to go, listen, these people are just like you. Quit holding them up on a pedestal. They may be sitting on a dais and be higher than you at this point, but they do that on purpose to make you feel small when we are their boss. Start acting like it. That's why I'm like, step into your authority is what people need to do. If you do that, your life will change, because you keep going, well, oh my gosh, they're in a suit. That doctor, oh my gosh, that officer has a costume. They're all costume. Okay, everybody, we all bleed the same. Okay, they're no better than you, but they want you to feel like you got to do, like, be in this cycle. You don't.
Mhm.
But they're going to keep you there until you step back into that authority. That's why I would always say it's like a king's seat. You know, if that king steps away, which would be the people, we stepped away because we're like, we believe that you're doing what we want. Never happened. But people just capitulated anyway. So then they fill the seat and they're like, well, now we're the boss. And it's like, so you come back and you're like, I'm the boss. And they're like, fucking A, no, you're not.
Yeah.
You left this place. What the
Right.
fuck? Who do you think you are?
Right.
You're going to listen to what I say. I'm going to tell you what I think
Right.
is best for you. When it's like, we got to go, no, not today. Okay, I'm going to take that authority back. But it's like nobody's willing to do that. So they come in and go, we're going to take your guns. We're going to do this. We're going to tell you what free speech is. And we're going to, you know, give and take your rights because we have the authority to do that. No, they don't. No,
Well,
they don't.
How much do you think then, as us, like going to the county or the city, then when it gets on to the next level, how much does them, at what point do they have to then go and hold the next?
Yes, they do.
Like the Congress?
Yes,
Like,
right.
so-
All the other levels.
because, you know, I've been trying to get, be in interactions with Sarah Jacobs.
Oh,
and,
no, don't talk to her. She's bad.
Well, I haven't got to directly
She's
talk to
Jewish
her.
Family Service.
And, what's it,
Brian Jones?
No, the
Scott Wiener?
No.
I was like,
Padilla.
oh, Steve Padilla? He's
No,
bad.
Alex.
Alex Padilla,
Alex
I mean. That's
Padilla.
what I meant. Alex is...
Because I filed, like I said, I filed a grievance with all these different agencies. So then it's like, at what point do we hit a roadblock? Or are we going to, because I've written them several times, and so if Congress is supposed to be then the people's, like at what point? It's like leaders that, like you said, that are leading us within here in the city or county, maybe they'll get tired enough of us being on their ass and then turn around. Because that's what I said
Right.
at the city council. At what point does the mayor or somebody say to the governor, if that's how it goes, like, what the fuck? Then you go, if we're going in this order, and then if no one's doing that, then you're all snakes in the grasses or rats or moles. I like snakes. Actually, snakes aren't bad. They portrayed them as bad. But then you guys are, again, then this is stupid. And so I don't need you and I don't need, then why are we listening to
Well,
you?
that's what I'm saying. The point is to not. And to
Right.
not, I mean, all these laws that they've put up in place, it's like, those are all for them anyway. They
It's-
want to put them onto us, but in reality, it's for them.
Right.
To make sure that they do
Do
the
the
right
right.
thing, but instead they spin it on us because we're their boss, and they're like, so they act
Right,
like you're not. That's what I'm
right.
saying. It's like you
Right.
want people to respect you and your authority, but you're talking to the people that hire and fire
Yeah.
and have all that. But even though like you can't get rid of these people because they're, they'll make sure that they stay in there using our money.
Right.
Just like anytime they do something egregious, we pay for it.
Right. And so that's what one thing that I started doing too, when realizing, like, they can tell me anything and tell me that's the law or the rights.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I started like, they can't, that's why I tell my kids
That's
they
why I
can't
feel like now I'm going to be like, I don't know, let me check. I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Let you know.
You're not doing anything. I tell my kids, don't worry about me. I haven't done anything wrong, and they know it. And I haven't done any, because my kids, we could skip.
Right. Of course.
So that's one of the things that I try to really get across to when I'm talking to other people that I've talked to other people in us that are, like want to get into their city council, and I'm like,
Oh, right.
know your rights, your laws, or whatever they're trying to pull,
Yeah, but
know
don't
what-
be one that's going to come in and encroach on those and all of a sudden,
right,
to participate in removing them, even
Right.
though they don't have the authority. Again, it's what you give up to them.
right,
And people think, well, I have to. No, you
Right.
don't.
right.
No, you don't. That's a choice.
Right.
You're choosing that. And this is so all the choices we've made led us here. Just like,
Mhm.
because we've capitulated and acquiesced to everything that they've done.
Yes.
Which they're doing it to us, but our participation in it has
Yes.
led us to this. So
Right.
is it working? No. So why don't you try something different?
Right.
But you're not willing to because you're too afraid. Isn't this bad enough? You want to see how bad it gets, so then you can go,
Right.
oh, well, I wanted to, and it's like, well, it's too late now.
Right.
It's
Right.
too late. So you should have earlier when you actually had an option and a ability to make that change. But you felt like that was going to be too hard.
Do you
And
ever
so you
feel
reap
like?
what you sow.
Do you ever feel like it's all for nothing?
Absolutely not. Do you?
No, but I think I get sad sometimes. Like it's like, how is it that this makes me so sad? You know, and everyone's just walking around. I talked to my 16-year-old daughter, you know, because it truly just keeps hitting me harder and harder and harder. I'm like, I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, what is everybody? What the? We have.
They gotta pay rent. They're busy.
And it's so discouraged. Like, I can't even look at people. I don't even want to go to the store because I'm like, I'll get so like I can't deal with stupid anymore. You know, like at what? It's depressing. So
what do you think is what people should do?
At least say it out loud.
Say what?
Like, what is happening? What is really happening? Where this all?
But what if they don't see it?
Well, that's right. But if you do see it, and then you don't even say it, and just be like, oh, like she was like, I don't really want to talk about it. I'm like, oh,
well,
right.
they don't want people to shun them either. You know what I mean? They're
Right.
self-preservation,
Right, yeah,
so they're like, I don't want to look like an idiot. And it's like, I don't care because I know I'm not an idiot.
Yeah.
I know that what I'm saying is not, you know, asinine. So it sounds crazy, yes, and that's why they use that tactic. But it's like, I would rather you think I'm crazy and I'll tell you the truth than me sit there and hold it in and be like, no, you're right. The sky is purple.
Right.
You can be a woman.
Well, I think that that people really need to start questioning their own beliefs.
Yeah.
One of the
Beliefs, or even per se, like what's going on around them. Question everything, I would say.
Really, yeah. One of the things that I really probably was really difficult for me was actually questioning what I thought to be true and seeing that it's not. That's, I guess, my ask of people. When is the last time you questioned your participation in your own life that lead you to these stories that we tell ourselves? People, you know,
sure.
I did too. And I wanted to believe it was a certain way. And I want to believe that everything that I was told by my parents, or, you know, was true too. I trusted that. I'm not mad at them, but there's at some point I'm an adult. And so
you have to think freely.
Right. And like we were saying yesterday, it's like we have to be okay that was not the truth.
Right.
You know? So really, I think if people kind of really question their belief system and why they believe it.
Yes. Yeah. And many people won't even be able to tell you why.
Right.
It's just because that's what they've been told, right? Or that's the way they grew up. Not really because they've ever looked at anything different. Like, they're not willing to go outside that construct of what you've been told. Right. And for me, it's like, I want to know more. So I open up that door, you know, and then you allow more information, right? So you get the data in, and then you can shift through it, sift through it, and like, you know, just kind of go, okay, well, where does that fit or whatever? But you have to question. You have to go, and I like to anyway, because even if it was right, it's like, well, tell me why. You know what I mean? I would like to know, and then I can look at the pros and cons. But it's like, for the most part, people, if they think something, they want to look at whatever's going to appease that.
Right.
They're not willing to go, well, let me look at the opposite and see what it says. Yeah. Because I'm willing to take in both sides so that I can have, I don't know how else you can discern things if you don't have all the information. And of course, there's going to be times where we're kept from information, obviously.
Right.
There's the unknowns. But when it's presented in front of you, if I go, okay, well, there's this and there's that. Now let me kind of like pull together what I believe. But instead of people thinking critically, they want you to tell them what to think.
Right. And I think that's what's becoming very frustrating to me when I'm having conversations, is that the information is at our fingertips now. There's no need to.
I mean, they are messing with that more, but yeah.
Right. And you said, David Icke always says, whatever you think you know, there's always more to know. And that is one thing that always stuck with me. And then you don't have to feel bad if that, what you thought you knew, was not right.
Right.
Because I started getting frustrated. I was just like, nah, you know, how come it took so, like.
Well, because what they present to us is the lie.
Right.
So in order to find the truth, you have to go, well, is this the only way?
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Let me see.
And
so
how come
it's
it took me so long to really question it?
Yeah, because like I'm saying, they
Right.
give you this, so you're
And-
just like, well, that's what we've been told. Vaccines are good.
Oh, God.
I mean, we
I
don't
can't-
know any different.
Oh, yeah, I never
Until
wanted
you
to say it
do.
out loud before we leave. So people, and it makes me, and this is one of it makes me sick. And I already know, because I didn't know till, you know, when I had my last child. But even rereading it, knowing that I injected that into my child, that is really what drives me as well. You sold me something under false pretenses and potentially helped me hurt my
Yes.
child, because me creating something with a person is overwhelmingly, I don't know if people go there and understand what that is.
Right.
To me, because if they did, I would have never put that shit in my kid.
No, but nobody questions what's in it. Nobody questions what's in your
Right.
food.
Right.
If you look at like labels, or like,
Yes.
what are you doing? And it's like, and then we have words that are like I don't know what it is,
Dude,
but I'm gonna
you should-
eat it. But they're more worried about their car and what kind of oil or gas they're gonna put in, right? They're like, I better get the premium and the like unleaded. I just need to make sure, because, and then it's like, what are you putting in your body? They're like, I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's fine. You know, you're crazy for thinking that. So like, you look at the vaccine, then because nobody would want to go, yeah, I'm putting stuff that says toxic danger, like this will murder you if you put it in there. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so
If this should be on the wall.
they
When-
have to give you informed consent, but they don't put it there.
It's
That's what they're supposed
Right.
to do by law. So
I've
they were
not-
all
I've
violating
never-
the law
right.
and know
Right.
that nothing happened there.
Right.
They're
And
just
that's
like-
where I feel like why can't I come back and sue you motherfuckers?
Yeah, no, 'cause
because
they
they
said
can't.
that.
Right, I know. They can't ever be sued. They can't ever be sued.
And that should be a telltale sign. Do you know what I'm saying? There are
Correct.
things where you go, well, why would they do that?
Correct.
Do you know what I mean? If they're really out to, and you know, if by chance like someone had an adverse, well, wouldn't you want to be able to? Nope, it's set up so that doesn't work. But you paid to have them make it,
Right.
and you paid to take it, so
Well,
that
and
was your choice.
You know, one of the I recently did a mentorship and started researching, and what people also is building a community to where
Yes,
you grow food, I grow food.
Yes.
This is what it's gonna have to come down.
barter and trade. Let's
Yes.
go back to that. Screw
Yep.
all of this.
I
Chris.
crochet. Why don't we have fruit trees and avocado trees out of all these trees?
We have
It's-
to get rid of
we're gonna have to start getting back down to, because that's maybe how it's gonna go, and I'm down with that.
Be like
But-
Amish. We need to go back.
Right.
Do the Amish thing. You know.
Well, so I started researching. This is really what started. I started researching. Well, like how do they do that? How do these Palantirs in the CDC have how does this
Oh
money
yeah, they'll make sure they know you're vaccinated or not.
circle though? So what they do, they have an LLC,
Yeah.
and then they have an umbrella of a nonprofit.
Yes.
So I said, I just started this mentorship, and I said, so before I even started, I did that. I got an LLC, paid for all that, got a nonprofit. So what they do is that these nonprofits that they have, like through the CDC, they all have different names. They apply. I can't believe we haven't said this yet. They apply for government grants and funding, and then it goes right
Yeah.
back, and then they buy Palantir
Yeah.
security. So they not only get our tax dollars, they get it twice, three,
Yes.
four
That,
times.
how do you think they created that?
Yes. So that's I
That's what I'm talking
recommend.
about. Even those NGOs doing the
Right.
border stuff. So
Right.
it's like same idea.
So I started an LLC, and now I have an umbrella for nonprofit, and I'm just gonna do what they do. Because
Well, it'll go to something good. That's the thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's
and
like,
so I think that's what people should start
yeah.
really looking
Let's take
into.
our money back and use it for
Yes.
the betterment.
Because if we're gonna have philanthropists, you know, and people wanna be connected to something good, people need to start working together and stop saying, oh, you're just disrupting, or that you're,
Yeah.
you know, like.
How dare you talk to them like that?
Yeah, you know what? Fuck off. You know, they should be saying fuck off.
Yeah.
Because
Exactly.
and that's what I.
I'm like, it's fine. You can go ahead and wait until they piss you off more. It's
Yeah.
cool. Go ahead.
Right.
Just go back to work.
But
and pay
I'm
your rent.
really interested in now, because I don't care if you hand me the questions, right? And I'm like, read them. I want to know this.
Yeah.
You know? And no, she didn't set me up to it. I just asked, you know, how can I question this better? I don't care. You know?
Right.
I may not know what the specific question is, and so I have no shame to your hand and be like, oh, what should I ask
But they
them?
should have no problem answering those
Correct.
questions. So it's
Correct.
like when you see that they do.
Correct. Because
it's
you're
a
more
very
informed,
telling-
and I want to go up there asking. I don't want to go up there not asking a correct question that they can easily sidestep.
Sure.
You know, you have so much knowledge, and I want to know the answers. And so she's not asking you, I'm asking you, because that's a real question, and I didn't know that was a question I needed to ask.
Right.
Really?
Nobody did, because
Right.
they spun it in such a way, and so they were just like, I can't believe you're so racist again. You're a xenophobe. And I'm like, no, I'm concerned about the
Right.
exploitation there. You realize
Right.
that Hakamba, there's a rape tree. Like,
Right.
people are being raped right there. That doesn't bother you?
Right. Even.
But I'm a racist
Right.
for bringing that up?
Right.
For real?
Mm-hmm.
So you have a problem with me talking about that when it's actually happening?
Because right, it's easier for them to be like, you know,
Like, even that's why sometimes when I'm real pissed, I'll like be sarcastic and be like, yeah, like when we were throwing babies over the wall, I mean, it's cool because they like bounce, you know, they're super resilient, but like Border Patrol just picks them up and then takes them to their spot, you know, it's like,
right,
it
Right.
seems
Do I
like
have to-
you guys were doing that.
right, but
That didn't bother anybody. Why doesn't it bother you that children are coming here with
Right.
an address on them?
Right.
And the county still is like, we're dealing with these unaccompanied alien
Yeah.
children. Fuck off. What are you doing with those kids?
And
Where are those children?
right,
They're part of the missing ones. You're putting them through foster care. I fucking know that, because probably what's happening is they're like, well, they're going to be deported, and so we got to keep them here because we need to put them through our system. Why don't you let them go back to their fucking home?
right. Well, and
I mean,
that's
some of them were sold though, so it's like, I mean, they're really, that's the crappy part, is that some families were giving them up, you know, willingly, and like,
right, because they're in a situation
Yes.
where they feel like that's their only hope, and
Sure.
especially when you're in dire straits. Because I've been like mentally in a I just took them a lot.
but people
know?
are like, I mean, it's a kid, like, you can have another one.
It's crazy, and so that's one of the things that like it hits me hard, is because I created life.
Right.
That is no joke to me. Like, there's a literal spark.
Yes.
If you watch
Yes, I
it,
know. On the way in and on the way out.
yeah. And so I take that very seriously, because I laid down with somebody.
Yeah, but people don't look at it like that.
It's great, and so it gets.
And even the baby, you know what I mean? They're like, it's just a clump of cells.
Oh God! I mean,
I'm just gonna rip it apart. And it's like, how can you do that? Like, what a crazy society that women
Right.
will literally murder their own babies and call it not even a baby and call it health care. And it's like, that's how brainwashed you are, is that you believe them.
well,
that
and
you
that it was
can't
so
even-
bad. Like, because if we're laying down with people and we're like, fuck, I don't want to be connected to that guy.
You
then
are
we
with
shouldn't be
whoever
we
you
shouldn't
lay
be
with.
laying down. Right.
Anybody you sleep with, their DNA is inside of you.
Yes.
So
Always,
every
right. And that's what I
single
tell my-
person.
Yes.
All their
Yes.
vaccines too.
My oldest daughter knows that. My children, it's special. It's supposed to be
Yes.
for when
To
you
create life.
Mhm.
But people are like, no, I can just go like,
Right.
and then I'm going to use abortion as a birth control. You know what I mean?
and
I can
when
keep
you're
going and have
looking
them.
at, we've sexualized
Yeah.
sexual things when it really is different when you
Look at it for what it is.
right and have a husband, and that is the most sacred space you can share with somebody.
Right.
That's what makes it amazing.
But they demonize, they like
They made it.
destroyed
It's like it's nothing.
And like porn, we're the biggest, America is the largest consumers of child pornography. And that stuff gets traded like no one's business. Like
So
Tim
weird.
Tebow found 338,000
I
IP
watched.
addresses.
Oh my god.
And it's crazy because it's like, and those are all not
Just
like
right.
not repeat ones,
right.
but and that's just within a 6-month period of trading sexual abuse material with children, and it's like that is disturbing.
Right.
And so that in itself should bother people, but
right,
they're
but
like,
I can't get like I have to be homeless. That's what I'm
Like-
saying. Our what's in ups and downs is it's like
it's an inversion,
Right,
It's
like,
totally inverted.
okay. So before we wrap, okay, fetal bovine serum
Yes.
for all you don't know, and this is current. This is current information. Blood from unborn cow fetus. Cardiac puncture. Did you know this? After slaughter. So they're taking a needle.
After slaughter, what are they
The
killing the
mom-
mom
so
and
it's
slaughtering
still-
her, and then
Yes. So the calf is still in the mom,
they cut it out,
but and then
like cut the mom open,
Yes.
and then stab the
yeah,
baby.
yeah, the calf.
Well, I
the
mean,
calf.
think about the way they do the babies.
Yes. Its purpose is for nutrient growth medium for a cell culture.
Yes. Yeah. Right. They use it. Yes. Correct. Or that's what they say.
The key concern: unknown complex components, animal ethics, cross contamination. Why the fuck do I need fetal cow?
You don't. They want to make us chimeras.
It makes me sick because I would have never. My mother-in-law's a nurse. You know, the doctor's like, oh yeah, you like, believe, you know, but we didn't have the internet like.
No, you wouldn't
We
have known,
did.
because even if you would have asked them, they would have been like, "We don't have the documentation. What's in it? Just trust us."
It's like
It's
we
like
were
some vitamins.
we barely got on the internet when I had my first, you know what I mean? Because I had already graduated college and I was in the bar industry. What did I need to get on the internet for? I wasn't, you know.
There was no need. Yeah.
No, we were at the beach and doing people things.
Living life
Yeah.
the way they wanted.
A WI38 human cells.
Yeah, those are the
Dash.
heck.
A 1962 aborted
Hmm.
female fetus.
Yeah, it's a cancerous.
Lung tissue.
Yeah.
3 months gestation from Sweden.
And they just keep cloning them. That's why when they're saying we're running
This
out
is-
of it, no,
this
you're
is-
not.
To grow the MMR vaccine.
No, but they've been using that in all the
Yeah.
other vaccines.
Yes, they have. A
And
fetal abortion, residual human fetal proteins documented and packaged.
packaged.
What?
Well, why is it in the food? They say why it's a natural flavor is because they were like growing these cells or something to like act as taste buds, and it's like the extra flavor. So they always offer you up some like bullshit where I'm like, what?
I would have never.
So I'm ingesting babies because you wanted to.
And so this one, MRC5 human cells,
Mhm.
1966 aborted male baby.
Yes. So imagine you're putting DNA, crossing DNA. So say you get a male DNA, what's that going to do to you, right? So you have all these people that are feeling like there's something else, and it's like, I mean, you're really messing with our whole genome, everything,
Oh, motherfucker!
by doing that. And
It makes me sick. It's people need to. This one's from 1966, aborted male at 14 weeks gestation from the UK. What the fuck are we talking about?
and why do you keep cloning cells? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's like, we need it.
Like, okay, so this is normal. It's a substrate to grow hepatitis A. So let me make hepatitis A
Yes.
from a fucking aborted baby, and then give your baby some.
Yes.
I'm so offended. That's why I can't do it anymore. After this is stupid, and so we keep doing. I'm not stupid, and I'm not gonna play stupid anymore. This is
For real.
stupid.
Yeah.
And so my kid, you saying, oh, we can't give your kid education, you know, but because they can't go to public school. Did you know that?
Right. Good.
So right. That's why I was like, fuck it. So then I sacrifice right now instead of going to work and having my kid run, doing this circle. It's finding your tribe and your community that you can also do that with somebody else. But I don't want to. I'm like, I don't even know. It would take a minute for me to participate. I actually have a couple girlfriends that I think would be maybe willing to do that. Okay, pig. I didn't know pig.
Yep. Monkey.
Yes, that's not monkey.
Horse.
An African green monkey.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? I never even heard of an African green monkey, and I was an animal.
Like, that's just bananas. But they're like, yeah, we need to put that inside of you. It's gonna help.
It's serious.
But they say like, well, it's only for this process of growing in it, so it's not really in there. They're lying.
Not
they make all these
intentional
excuses.
residue for bovine serum crossover.
Yeah.
So why?
Non-intentional. You know what I mean? But it's like, no,
right.
it was intentional. You did that on
Yes.
purpose. You know that there's no way to separate it afterwards. And you're just injecting these, like
religious
even
concerns.
mercury and aluminum together
yes.
are corrosive. Like they
No,
bubble.
they're just saying that right now, like, that it causes
graphene, like
autism.
It does. But that's also curable. It's a detoxing of metals,
Right.
heavy metals.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it's like,
and
it's changing the way you eat. I mean, it's something that they do, but
Right.
you can
like
mitigate it.
Right.
But you just have to be willing to and trying different things
Right.
and understand that
And
it's a process.
Yeah. Religious concerns, oral vaccine. Taken by 2 dead pigs, long-term humans unknown.
Like, it's just like,
Oh yeah,
I mean,
historical SV40 contamination, cancer causing in animals, cancer causing cells, unresolved in humans. I can't do it. This is stupid. So I feel like I'm gonna say no, but did you know? I don't care what. I'm gonna ask a question or go up there during what's it called?
no.
Yes. I'm gonna start just reading off facts.
I used to do that, like when we were talking about I would bring them laws, I would bring them stuff. I gave Tara a 500-page binder of why the shots were genocide.
Yeah.
500 pages. And her staff was like, she probably threw it away. But it's like, there was a lot of documentation in there of old vaccines, what these things were that they were talking about. And it's like, why can't you give the people informed consent? You know what I mean? But it's like they just brush you off because they've all taken it and they think it's so great and they want to, it doesn't play into what they're doing to go, yeah, those are dangerous. They still require employees to get it. You know what I mean? And so it's like, it's disgusting.
Then if you guys are then I don't want to hang out with you. You know what I mean? Like, where do I draw the line? Because I can't participate in that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the choice that you have to make.
Because this is insane.
100%.
And I am thankful every day that nothing happened to my child. So people have to face that, and it sucks. But if you do it now, we can't. I don't blame anybody else either. Like, I get it.
Well,
It's
because
easier
they tell you, like,
Right.
they make women believe that if they don't give their child that, they're going to be dying. So it's like, but they don't understand that by giving them that, they will die or can die, right? And it's like, so ask them what's in it. All you have to do is go, what is in it?
Right.
And then if you feel like after reading what you find to be in there,
Right.
and even the adverse events, like look at that and go, like, what can potentially happen? What has happened prior when being given these? Instead, you just trust the person in the white coat that is sitting here and asking you to hold your child down, and you're traumatizing that child by like they don't want it. I mean, I hated vaccines when I was a kid. I was like, no wonder I knew they were bad. No, it was like my dad would have to bribe me, and much of the time I wouldn't get them, so I probably had to go back. He's like, damn it, this is like, but he'd be like, I was like, giving me a pack of gum.
Right.
But I would scream bloody murder, and so I'm like, I feel like I somehow.
think they all knew that. I think they do.
But it's like, look into it. If you do care about your child, then look into it. If you believe what they're saying, then prove it to yourself and go, okay.
Right.
But if you can't say that when you're reading that there's mercury and aluminum and all of these toxic heavy metals, formaldehyde, babies, different animal cells, like so many things, like what in there is it that you believe is going to protect you? Or do you think that if you put all of those things together, like if you went into your garage and was like, I'm going to put all this in here and I'm going to just take it, it's cool. I mean, I feel like it's no different. You are like, and when you're reading that and that doesn't trigger an alarm,
but God
that's
forbid,
concerning.
But God forbid you would become homeless and you become addicted to something because you're so overwhelmed. So you can help me consent to giving monkey green cells to a baby that I delivered, but if I can't be homeless and get down on my luck and be like, fuck, I'm an alcoholic now, or I got addicted to drugs, and then we're gonna punish those people. This is what
they
I'm
put them there. They have to create criminals out of the product that they create.
This is nuts. And that's why I was saying, like, I don't want to hear about these programs anymore. The history's right here. HUD started a program, denied it. HUD. The federal government started a program, cut it off, back and forth. Look, here we are.
Yeah.
This is stupid. I can't take it anymore.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna go. I mean, Vanessa, she texted me and said we gotta make it, but she said just being on listening to you when we recorded, she said I don't know that I can't not participate like because she's in North County.
Yeah.
And she was dealing with her job,
Right.
RTFH.
Yes.
But she used to be like inspired. When I first met her, she was doing all these things, and then it just life happens.
Fizzles out. Yeah.
But she said, I don't think that I can go back after listening to you and not participate in any, anything.
Right.
And I said,
And that's the hope, right?
Right.
Like, that's why having these
And
conversations is so important.
right, it's inspiring. And that's why I told, because she's in North County, and I was like, I want to have this, Audra on our show. And so she started following me, and she's like, oh my gosh, she's amazing. And I was like, dude, she fucking goes in there and rips people. And I respect that because she's not just, I'm listening, and they need to hear it needs to be done.
Well, and that's why I'm saying these things are good because even she's participating with us and it opened her eyes. You know what I mean? And so it's like,
and she was already a part. Like she has her own nonprofit, started all these things during COVID. But you start to when one thing gets you down, and you feel like you're on this road and you can't get your that's why building community too and lifting people up that are actually listening and doing good need to be lifted up.
Yes.
So hopefully you come back and
I would love that.
every other whatever.
Right.
It's just me and her.
I know.
Like for the past 3 weeks I was sitting in here talking about myself. I think I posted a couple of them, but
those are fun. I've done that, and I'm like, man, I'm just rambling.
I
I feel like people. I'm like, and my mind goes all over the place, so I'll start talking about something. And I do that anyway, but I'll be like, wait, I got to go back to where I was.
Well, I didn't even.
But it'll be like I could do it for 2.
Yeah.
It's like.
Then I was like, oh, it didn't sound that like listening
It's
to
not.
myself.
Yeah, it's not. It just feels
it
weird.
was kind of rambling, but
it just feels weird because you're not talking to anybody.
And I'm like looking around.
Yeah.
And I'm like.
Yeah. But it's still good either way,
Yeah.
like just getting the information out. And I'm, too bad Vanessa couldn't be here, but I feel like this was great. It was meant to be this way.
Yeah.
And I'll come back and join you ladies again.
Well, and more information. So, county I got a
is
list
next
of on
week.
my calendar. The county and the city, right?
Yes, actually, tomorrow is even SANDAG. They have an executive committee.
Oh, yeah, you said that.
The city has a budget committee meeting. These are all at 9 a.m. And then there's that child strengthening board that I sent you that's also at like 9:30 at the county. It's like they have all these ones at the same time. But then there's an audit committee for SANDAG. Next week is the Board of Supervisors and also the city. The main like Monday, Tuesday, and then the county is Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the city has meetings like their environmental, their audit, their public safety.
You know what? If she has really good like mics, the small ones that you clip on, we can podcast from anywhere.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well,
I have some other smaller ones. Yeah, I just
we should just throw, bring them. I can be like we're the commentators at the Super Bowl.
I know, right?
Wouldn't that be kind of? I mean, hey.
Well, that's why I do bring it live to people, which is nice because it's like sometimes I'm like I have more people watching on mine than you guys have on your YouTube.
Yeah.
But I'm like. At least it puts the information out. And that's why I'll even tell them, like, even with different board, I'm like, why don't you ask me? Like, I'm here putting it out there. You should be glad
Right,
about that.
right,
But I'm
'cause
like,
you're-
it's
right.
easy to do, and you guys can't even set something up like this. I'm like,
Right.
I can go to many platforms just with that, and you guys are acting like, well, we got to spend like hundreds of thousands of dollars
Right.
in order to have this
Right,
technology.
right.
Like
Oh.
Sandag doesn't post their stuff till later. They go through Zoom,
Yeah.
and then they'll post the meeting later. But it's like, you could go live. You don't want to.
Right.
These are choices that you guys make because you want to obfuscate and take the time to go, well, oh, do we want this information to come out? No, let's put that video out in like a week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then by
Yeah.
that time, people
Well,
forget
right.
about it. They won't
Right.
even know what's going on. It's like, so you're always trying to catch up even if it's not
Yes.
live like that. Like
Yes.
if you can see it happening, you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What are they doing? Instead of
Yeah.
going, oh, wait, I got to go back and look. And then, wait, when did that actually happen? And can I even say anything?
Yeah.
You know? So,
Well, I mean, tell Vanessa, it's like being your own little news, like, because they're standing there taking the news. I'm gonna stand
It
right
is.
next to him and be like,
We are
I'm gonna
the
tell
news.
you, I'm gonna tell you the real news. What are you saying? Lie.
I know.
Lie.
We are the news, though. That's why it's like we
Right.
bring them the truth. The news is paid
Right.
to
Right.
lie to us.
And-
Did you not know that? Like the
Yes.
months,
Yes.
yeah,
I
the
did.
Smith Month Act.
And then that's what I told my kids. I said, look, I'm not owned by anybody, so I can go up there
Right.
and say what I want.
Yes.
And
People
that
are
is
own
the
king.
free, like you said, there's a freedom.
It is.
That once you decide, there's a freedom behind it.
But you dip your toe in, you're like, oh my gosh,
Right.
I'm gonna dive in. People don't realize that. I'm
Right.
like, you're
And-
you're like selling yourself short because you're not even experiencing the good part of
Right.
life. Like
Right.
you're living in the shit.
Right. And it is hard at
It
first.
is.
Because you don't know, like,
It's
you feel like
uncharted
they're going to take,
territory.
right. Like, they have something on you, or they're going to take something from you, or you end up losing something.
But that's
right.
your head
Right.
telling you that.
Right.
Step out of that.
I do. And before I go, and to the grocery store, I'm like, I do. Thank you for this. Thank you for this food. Because it always works out. It's not easy all the time, but you start seeing that this freedom will allow you to be free
Yes.
if your heart is in the,
That's right.
in the right space, and you're evolving, or
Mm-hmm.
it will. It's hard to show people that sometimes.
It is, but just
But we'll keep
dabble into it. Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to county and ask a good
I know, it's
question.
gonna be
They're gonna be
fun.
like, wait, what is she saying? Why did?
Why is
You know,
she
because
asking
it's
us that?
right.
She doesn't usually talk about this.
I throw them
I
off guard.
don't. Who's she been?
I'm like,
hanging
who
out
was
with?
that? What was that fence with all those 50 people
Yeah.
behind it with the
They
white
wouldn't
bus?
they would be like, "What are you talking about?"
It was. I'm gonna have to.
You're like,
exactly-
"Let me put up Audra's video."
Yeah, can you explain this to me, because I was homeless during that time, and from my understanding, they got a lot of money and a lot of good food. Can you
Surely
explain that
did.
to
They
me?
got hotels, they got
Right.
flights, they got
Right.
charter buses that
It's
they could ride. It's
time
like
to
they
start
got
writing
clothes,
checks.
like whatever. Yeah. When we
Yeah.
get that money, like, why can't we? I mean, that's why I started telling people everyone should identify as an illegal. I'm like, because you get like so many perks.
Well, and before we go, they asked me, if you separated from him,
Right.
You
Then you
can-
would be able to.
you would, right, we could, like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then they said, or if he worked like so many hours less, then, and I'm like, those sound like both shitty answers.
Because they won't make up for that.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're like, if you could just like not work as much.
And I said, I'm that's insulting. I'm not.
Because they're like, you make a penny over what our threshold is.
It was like,
and
I think it was like 2
unfortunately-
hours.
But it's like crazy because it's like such small, and that you're like, oh my gosh, like
Right. And
for
no, I'm
real?
not gonna leave my
I mean-
husband, like, separate. No, it's ridiculous.
yeah,
Okay, so next
Alright.
week, maybe we'll go live on scene.
right.
But the
That
next
would be
week,
fun.
we always have
We'll
it
just-
like 2 Thursdays, and we'll just schedule.
Yeah.
If you want, how long does it take you to get down here?
It depends on traffic.
Yeah.
Fallbrook is North County,
So is it
so it's like at the
northeast?
top.
Northeast?
Well, it's northeast. Yeah.
I think I've been there
So.
once or twice.
It's
How
cool.
far are you from Temecula then?
That's really close.
Yeah.
That's just
Yeah.
like an exit away
Nice.
or so. Like,
you
or
like-
if you go a back way, you can get down
Yeah.
into Temecula. It's actually there's more in Temecula than in Fallbrook. Like, if it like stores
It's
stuff
pretty
really
there.
close, it's like 20 minutes to Temecula, and they
Uh-huh.
have it would be like coming down to San Diego.
Right.
So it's like I would
Or
have to
going to
drive
Oklahoma,
way
right.
further from Fallbrook if I wanted to get to that kind of,
Fallbrook's in
Whatever.
the county as
it's
part
of the county,
right,
yeah, but it's
Temecula's
unincorporated.
not.
No,
right?
it's not. That's
Right.
Riverside County.
Yeah, yeah.
But
That's what I thought.
so, and it's like, but it's like easier and better to go there if you go the back because it's 20 minutes. It just the other way gets me into Fallbrook after 20 minutes. So
Yeah.
it's like it's just whatever.
Yeah. Because even going, like, my son plays for, they're, like, based out of El Cajon, but his home, Alpine, is where he plays his home games. And it's not too bad.
No.
Going that direction. So I was just curious. I think I would.
No, well, and it's like, because it's so many hours spent on it. It's like everything seems like, well, it's funny because people will be like, I had to drive 20 minutes. I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish that would be so fun. Like, oh, what's that like? And I'll be like, how often do you fill your gas tank? And they'll be like, I mean, I filled it like 3 weeks ago. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Is that possible?
Yeah.
Oh, if you live in a 15-minute city, it is. You know what I mean? Like, if you stay within your zone,
Mm-hmm.
you're good. But I was like, I wish I knew that. I wish I knew what that was like. And so as they raise the gas prices,
It's
it's
insane.
like,
It's insane.
all
It's
right.
insane. Okay.
So much fun.
Thanks.
God bless everyone.
Please.
Take care.
Oh, Lisa, I want to get my own headphones. In this.
Stay classy, San Diego. Hope you guys enjoyed that. See you guys again soon. Tomorrow is Sandag and some other meetings, so I'll be coming to you guys live with some.